It's Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. I'm Chris.
I'm Daz.
I'm Richy.
I'm Martin. Run the intros, Daz.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you're one of the crowd. A vision of weakness you don't...
Well, I was dying to get that in. Go on, Mark, you do it. I'll let you do it.
No. You've much like your sex life, you've gone off too soon. That's fine. We'll talk to Mrs. Hall. We'll talk to Mrs. Hall. Obviously there's a camera in his bedroom. He's sitting looking at it. It's kind of like an afterthought now. I suppose. Welcome to Loaded Football Weekly, Wednesday, the 14th of April. In a week that has seen the UK surpass 60 million COVID jabs and get back out on the piss, while poor old me and Daz in Ireland have done 900,000 jabs. We've cancelled 2 lots of vaccines and now we're still stuck in lockdown. But anyway.
But it wasn't us personally.
And it wasn't us personally, no. We would have taken any vaccine. I would have taken a horse tranquilizer if it meant I got in the pub. But anyway, we're still here. But you've got us, loaded football for this evening. And yeah, hopefully plenty to bring you. A top-notch band. Some people may be asking why we are all wearing Newcastle attire. All will become apparent later on. There is a sign at the back of Daz there, but his head is so large you can hardly see it. Oh, there you go. He's gone sideways. But yeah, it will become apparent. We do have a derby. I know there hasn't been one football-wise for quite a long time. So will it be a possible win to Newcastle later on, or will the Mackems get bragging rights and count this as 7 in a row? Who knows? We shall see. But Daz, what is happening? How's everybody anyway?
Good, Martin. Good, mate, yeah.
Good to hear.
By the way, I just want to jump in and let you know I'm currently watching the Liverpool-Real Madrid game. It's only kicked off 2 minutes ago, so I'm going to keep you up to date. So we've got Liverpool playing Real Madrid at Anfield, and we've also got Dortmund playing Man City. So I'm going to keep an eye on those scores this evening and keep you all up to date with what's going on.
Just for those who may never have watched football ever before, what are the current aggregate scores on those, young Christopher?
Yes, so at the moment, Borussia Dortmund are they're at home this evening and they're playing Man City, and they're currently 2-1 down on aggregate. So, City, if City score tonight, it's one leg in the semi-final, isn't it? Because then they'll have that away goal that matches Borussia Dortmund. So yeah, at the moment, City are 2-1 up on aggregate, but it's 0-0 in the match this evening, and similar position actually in the. At Anfield tonight, Liverpool are playing Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are 3-1 up. So, they too will probably be looking for that away goal tonight just to try and seal it. But yeah, it's still 0-0 in both games, but I'll keep you up to date.
If only we had a graphic, Chris, that we're going to talk about in about 1 minute that would describe that as well. But let's get to it. Let's get to, actually, before we do, I thought of something as well, because I will forget it later. To anyone listening on Away Days Radio on Saturday morning, back to this show, get in contact with us. What teams would you like us to discuss? What topics would you like us to discuss? We're coming up with headlines on the day of the show, but if there's a team that you want us to discuss, get in contact with us and we'll try our best. So I think we'll go straight into Loaded Headlines. Okay, and let me get my little graphic that matches what Chris was just describing there.
I'm glad you said graphic.
Now, here we go with the Champions League. And there was some games last night, and there's some games today, as Chris has just mentioned. So we're going to talk about the Champions League, and we're going to talk about the Europa League as well. So let's go Champions League first. Who'd like to talk a bit about, I suppose, maybe the games tonight or the games last night?
Yeah, I'll kick off. I did watch the games last night. I did watch the PSG Bayern game. The game itself was, I would say, probably one of the best games I've watched.
Really?
Football Football-wise, yeah. If you think about the two teams involved, I think from a point of PSG, the front two in Mbappe and Neymar, I thought they were outstanding. They should have probably been 3-0 up by half-time. The pace and just the link that the two of them have together with the midfield, with Di Maria, was just unreal. They should have been 3-0 up at half-time. The game should have been buried. Obviously, Bayern went on to score. But it was just a really good game. I was kind of chit-chatting to Paul Oxley, and we were chatting last night, and the two of us were kind of tweeting each other going, do you know what? This is just a fucking class game. And it was just end to end. It was just bouncing from goal to goal, back and forth, tackles, pace, skills. It just had a bit of everything for me. So I really enjoyed the game. I did watch the Chelsea Porto afterwards. Thought Chelsea played really well. Porto got the goal, but I just thought they were two really good games. But I thought PSG's front two in Neymar and in particular Mbappe, I thought they were outstanding. Just football on a different level for me.
Nice one, Martin.
I didn't watch any of the football last night. Obviously, I followed the results, but I didn't watch any of it. But yeah, I mean, it sounds from what I've read on Twitter, obviously what you've now said as well, Mars. It sounds like I missed one last night watching the PSG game. I mean, watching the likes of Neymar and Mbappe, it is good, isn't it? And then obviously, they've also got like Di Maria and stuff, haven't they? So it's it sounds like a really good game. But I also wanted to add as well about Chelsea. No, I had a bet last night, and I was hoping, that Chelsea would kind of see off Porto. So I was quite surprised that Porto managed to get that 1-0 away win. But, albeit they've done enough, haven't they, in the through? And Tuchel must be absolutely delighted. He's got Chelsea to a semi-final of the Champions League, and I think I read somewhere today that they've now appeared in more semi-final of Champions Leagues than Man United, I believe. So that's some record, that.
It was a good game. To be fair to Chelsea were unlucky, but I think playing it on a neutral venue didn't help either team.
Yeah.
Whereas a few people there, Keith Rose just saying that the PSG Bayern game was a lot better than the final last year. Champions League wise, that's what I say. Okay, overall games. I know when I said to you, Chris, probably one of the best games I watched. You went, what? But from a point of Champions League for two real top teams, considering the Bayern were the holders.
Yeah. It's a really good point, mate.
The fact that PSG, got 2 away goals over in Tollgate. I will actually come to that shortly.
That's
a shoe-in. No, sorry. But yeah, from a Champions League point of view, and from that kind of game, I thought it was a really, really good game.
I think I've just looked at just the draw for the semi-finals, and I think it's a shame that the winner of the Man City game goes up against PSG, because imagine if Man City get through with PSG, that would probably be the perfect final out of the teams that are left. It's just a shame it's going to be in the semi-finals. I think it would just be such an entertaining.
It would be a great final.
Yeah, just the fact that there's been millions put into the squads, the fact that it would be huge in the Middle East area as well between the two teams. Obviously you've got Qatar and you've got the UAE. They're represented. It would just go down huge in the area as well. It's a shame it's going to have to be in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think Man City win that game though.
I think the winner of that game wins the
Champions League.
Yeah,
I agree.
Cool.
I'd love to see Man City do it.
And it would be great for either team, because I think they both deserve to win it.
Yeah, they do. Do you know what? I think I'd like City to win it, because obviously they've strived to do it for so many years under Pep.
It's Pep's holy grail, isn't it?
Yeah, he's won it with obviously Barca, and I think he because of the squad that he's put together there, and the faith that the board have put in him to get that. Obviously they've won the league several times now since he's been in charge, but that's been the one that's just been it's just evaded him every single time. And I think it would be great for him, the squad, British football, English football in particular. But I'd also like to see whether they can actually get the quadruple done, because I think that would be one hell of an achievement.
I was just literally thinking as you were talking there, I was thinking, do you know what? I think they'll wrap up probably a good chunk of the other stuff. Obviously, league is nearly done. But, I mean, I think if you beat PSG and then you go and you win the final to cement a quadruple, I mean, oh man, that's savage.
If you look this time in 2 weeks' time,
See that, Chris?
Look at that, Chris.
Seeing it, mate.
Real Madrid bus attacked by a minority of Chris's mates on its way to Anfield.
Do you know what though?
What is
Somebody tweeted this before, and they wrote something on Twitter. I think it was same old Scousers or something. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying this because I'm from Liverpool, but I must say, every fan base has, the minority of idiots, don't they? I mean, without having to go at our fan base, we had someone punch a horse. Do you know what I mean? So you think. It works both ways, and I think
we're not innocent in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It annoys me stuff like that on Twitter, and I think people shouldn't like stuff like that. And I was going to bite, and then I thought, no, don't. Just leave it. I was going to say as well, just to add, just to go back to the Man City conversation, I was just going to add to what Rich and Martin were saying then. I think it'd be great for Aguero as well. I mean, he's had such a fantastic career, and I would love to see Aguero get the Champions League, in his final season at City, because he's been a fantastic striker for them.
Yeah, no, I don't actually care he's leaving. Who cares?
It's weird. I think this time in 2 weeks' time, Man City could have 2 of those trophies already. Because obviously they could have had the league wrapped up depending on results. And they've got the League Cup final next weekend against Spurs.
Yeah.
Just want to say, Julie, with her finger on the pulse again, she always brings us the breaking news. I reckon when the takeover does happen for Newcastle, it'll be Julie.
We get Julie on. I think
Julie's going to break it.
Julie's always there, first for the action. Yeah. And for me, on the Champions League, I don't bother watching the Champions League, or I don't pay that much attention to it until it comes to the semi-final stage. Because until Newcastle are back in the Champions League, I'm not going to pay that much attention. That's my little protest.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. And I think sometimes you just have to wait for a good semi.
So true,
we'll move on. We'll move to the Europa League. We just had a quick glance of the fixtures here. We reckon this is Man United's to throw away here. This competition, and they're.
I'm having a little chuckle to myself.
Laughing at your own jokes.
You're still laughing at your semi thing.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm having a little giggle about it. Sorry, it's fucking Richie's fault. He started laughing. That made me laugh. Sorry.
You finished?
How do you blame me for that?
Go on, crack on. We'll run out of time. Let's go.
The Europa League. What do you think? I think it's Man United's to lose, and if they win it, they'll get back into the Champions League. But sure, they're going to come and get in the Champions League anyway, with finishing second probably in the league. So then is the question: does that open up for 5th spot, or is it for will the winner of the FA Cup get in Champions League, or will it just be 4 automatically get in? Thoughts?
I listened to. I went for a very nice walk this morning in between doing some stuff. I got out for about an hour and a bit for about 10K this morning, and I listened to the Peter. Anybody that doesn't, can I just say, by the way, we run a good show, right? But we're only beginning. If you don't listen to it, I do advise you, get onto Spotify, listen to the Peter Crouch podcast, right? It's brilliant, right? He talks about his time at England. He talks about ex-footballers. He talks about his time at Stoke and all the clubs. It's just a really, really good podcast. If you love sport, if you love football, a few laughs, talking about pancakes and all the kinds of crack. It's a really, really good podcast. So I listened to it this morning, and he was talking about pancakes was one thing, and he's got this tagline: "Comes get stronger." But he was talking about the Champions League, and what came from the conversation was this whole, in the league, finishing 3rd, finishing 4th. The race for 4th. Lads, there is no race for 4th. You finish 4th, you don't win nothing. No. It's 4th. No. And it's a very good point. If you look at the league and you look at the Champions League in its original format, the Champions League was the first place champion from all the leagues around. And that's how it used to be, and that's how it should be. It's a Champions League. It's not the race for 3rd or 4th. 3rd and 4th means you finish 4th. 3rd, you finish 3rd. So getting a third or fourth place and getting a Champions League spot does not mean you're a champion. It's a Champions League. So the rant, if you listen to Peter Crouch, it was a really good point. And should the Champions League be stripped back to the original format, which was it is the League of Champions, which is one team from every country that is the champion of their league. And I think the boys are 100% right, Crouchy and the lads there. So
Do you know what? I think No, I was going to say it's an interesting point, because if that was the case, then I'm pretty sure Crouch would never have played in the Champions League, would he?
He wouldn't have, no. But that's how it started. If you think about the original piece of the Champions League, it was the top one position of every league. That's how it started. But now people go, well, you look at Spurs, look at United, look at Chelsea. It's a race for fourth. It's not a race for fourth. You finished fucking fourth. You didn't win nothing.
It's all that, though, isn't it? It's all the money.
It is about that. But there is no race for fourth. Fourth is fourth. You finish fourth last. Doesn't make a difference.
Well, Martin, I just have one thing to say there. I hope that Peter Crouch is going to talk about our podcast and tell everyone to watch.
Thanks for watching. No, he won't. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
Like and comment and subscribe. So, come on, Peter Crouch.
If you love your sport,
you owe us one.
It's a great podcast.
Nice one.
Chris, have you got the goal, or do you know about the goal or not?
There's been a goal. There's been a goal. I'm sorry, I'm engrossed in the Liverpool game.
Can we get one of the fellas off Delegate Shots or somebody to come? Because like Chris,
hang on a minute. Don't be saying that.
Hold on, you're meant to be looking at the goals every week. You're never on it.
I was engrossed in what you were saying, Martin, about the Champions League, because it was very interesting, and your semi-talk and all that. You come on every week and you go, lads, listen, I'm going to be looking at the goals and everything else. You weren't bothered about that. You were probably texting the lads who were stoning the bus at Madrid, going, "Fucking carry on, lad." Don't give me that shot.
We'll go again.
Richy, I appreciate the heads up, mate. Thank you very much. There's been a goal. Richie's quite nice. So Borussia Dortmund, everyone, are 1-0 up. And it's the familiar name, Jude Bellingham.
Oh,
Jude Bellingham. Yeah, the young England lad. Yeah.
He scored at the weekend on his first goal for BVB.
Yeah. Dino will be happy to hear that.
2-2. 2-2. Very good.
I was going to say, going back to what we said about the Champions League, I think the one thing I agree, it should be the Champions League. It should go back to how we used to have the European Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup, because that was a really good competition, to be fair, and then go back to having the UEFA Cup. But the one thing I do like about the format for how it is at the minute is that the winner of the UEFA Cup goes into the Champions League, because technically they are a European champion. I think that's the only way I would change it.
Yeah, I agree. I just think the format's. Yeah.
And does anyone want to talk about the Europa League?
Yeah, do you know what, Daz? I was gonna. Oh, mate, I was going to jump on because Mark, before you came backstage, I was just saying to Daz, I was in a complete shock at how poor of a group of semi-finalists that is. I mean, if Man United don't walk that, there's something wrong. I mean, we were saying, weren't we, that lads, that whoever wins the Europa League ends up getting a place in the Champions League the following season. I mean, if that's not a big enough carrot, I don't know what is. But some of those teams.
Just get rid of the whole competition, melt the cup down, and spend the money on something else.
It could be a good season from teams from Manchester.
Could be. Therell still be more than enough.
Yeah, never
we
happy.
Don't like the Glazers. We've such a hard life. Everything else, whatever.
I think we'll move on. Talking about a hard life, let's talk about the bane of most of our lives. It's VAR. VAR. So yes, we had our own incident at the weekend. Where the Burnley defender tried to take Sean Longstaff's head off, and we got no penalty out of it. But I found some stats as well. Maybe I'll remove the banner so you can actually read them. But just kind of some information on goals that were. Was that something, Chris? Was that a goal?
Sorry, that was me. Sorry, very much. Just hit the post. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to let us know you had another semi on.
That's going to last all show now, that isn't it?
Sorry, wouldn't surprise me.
Does he have for like the 2 hours, has he?
Can I just ask the question? If you look at the one at the bottom, what the fuck is mistaken identity? Was that like VAR from a police lineup or something?
No, well, funnily enough, is that the one? Is it? I don't know where you pulled this from, Daz. Is that the one where? Because I caught a little bit of it, and Jamie Carragher was talking about the West Brom game, and didn't the VAR officials look at the wrong person for being offside in the West Brom game against Southampton? I'm sure they did.
It's a great category though. Mistaken identity.
Let's get rid of the stats. So what do you think? I think for myself, VAR was a nice. It's interesting to try it when there was no one at the ground, and for TV and purposes, it makes it maybe a bit interesting as well, especially if you're neutral watching the game. But when it comes back to fans on the ground, I think they need to modify it or get rid of it, but keep the goal line technology. My thoughts.
I think with regards to VAR, I think there's been a lot of good things where like a referee might have missed something, or there's the video assistant referees then said, look, I think you need to go and have a look at this tackle. It was dangerous. It wasn't just a boot or something like that. Stuff like that. It's really, really good. I think the biggest farce of VAR has been the offside. That, we had a big discussion about it on the weekend on our other show, that it should be something like clear and obvious, or it shouldn't be by the edge of your shirt sleeve, or it shouldn't be the toe of your boot. It should be what it used to be, the advantage to the attacking player. In an obvious offside is when, to me anyway, is where at least half that your body is offside, because the linesman can see that. That is the only way, in my opinion, that someone should be offside. Not shirt sleeve, not the sponsor on the middle of the front of your shirt, not a toe, not at all. That it's just
definitely
an absolute part. And to be fair, the biggest I think we've had this year was obviously the Sean Longstaff one at the weekend was ridiculous. How that wasn't given as a penalty, but then in the second half, a replica of the incident outside our own box was given as a free kick. But the weekend one again with West Brom, where the perfectly valid goal was ruled out for offside, when the person who actually scored the goal was onside, and it was the person behind them that was offside.
That's what I was talking about. They drew it on the wrong person, and they were like, it wasn't even him that scored.
Yeah, that's
Richy.
the mistake I didn't want. How on earth that can be ruled out when they've got the video in front of them? It's just beyond me. Seriously, it is.
I was going to ask you, Richy, because there was a cap behind you. Was that Nolan on your back?
Yes, I've got Nolan on the back. It's a bit warm, obviously. It is a 10-year-old shirt. But yes, he's just gone down to get a drink as well.
Yeah,
he's on his perch for the night.
Nolan the cat, everyone.
Here's two things on VAR, right? It either needs to be A, scrapped in full, or they need to revisit it. And the other thing they need to do, very much like the NFL, that both me and Rich have an interest in, is they need to mic up the referees so the fans that are watching on TV know exactly what they're looking at, what the reason is, why the stop in play, and what they're going to look back at, and why the decision is either being reversed or otherwise. So mic up the refs, run the game properly, or get rid of it and give the striker, as Richie said, the benefit of the doubt. When you've got a guy, and I think we spoke about this, it might even be me and you, Richie, I think in the chat maybe, which is a striker that is at the... I only allow black and white cats. Absolutely, Julie, only black and white cats. If you've got a striker that is, for want of his better words, Richie, you went back, you played football last night. Anybody that ever played any kind of football, kids, otherwise, I'm sure we all did. If you were playing up front, you were always told by your coaches, be on your toes. So if you're a striker on a front line, you are always either preempting the ball or you're trying to get ahead slightly of the defender to get a bit of an advantage, even if it's a toe line. So you are always going to have a striker, in particular in any game, Premiership, EFL, whatever it happens to be, Scotland, doesn't matter. You're always going to have a striker that as that ball is automatically pinged forward is going to lean. Because the first thing he's doing is he's leaning, he's putting his foot in, and he's pushing off, unless I'm incorrect. So you're always going to have this piece where his shirt sleeve or his leading arm or his leading side or his leading leg is going to move. But that doesn't mean he's offside. He's not necessarily getting an advantage. What he's doing is he's making a move to preempt where the ball is going to be.
Yeah.
That's not offside.
Quicker.
Exactly. So he's not interfering with play. He's not causing harm. He's not doing anything else. So either revamp VAR or get rid of the bloody thing. You can't have it both ways. It's so, and the problem for fans and the problem for players is it's the inconsistency of the decisions. It's not whether VAR works or whether VAR doesn't. It's the inconsistency. And Sunday's game or the game Newcastle against Burnley shows that to be the prime example in the fact that the penalty wasn't given, but literally 20 minutes into the second half, a high boot against the head is given as a foul. So where is the consistency? That's the problem.
I don't know where I've read this, and you lads have probably seen it yourselves, but I know Arsene Wenger's come out with something, hasn't he? And he said that in his opinion, the rules should be changed to if any part of your body is onside that you could score a goal with, then it's onside. And that goes back to what you've just said, Martin, in terms of if a striker makes that quick dart or he leans forwards or, with that very split second, if his trailing leg is still onside, he's onside.
Absolutely.
That's what it should be. And then I think that would knock out a lot of it. My only issue with VAR, and this is where I think the problem comes in, certainly from a fan's point of view, being in the stadium, doesn't affect us much on the telly, but definitely in the stadium. It's that horrible uncertainty that as soon as that euphoric moment where you just go nuts and you're like, oh, we've equalised or we've gone ahead. You've always now got that split second where you go, was he offside? Is there an issue? Did someone pull the shirt? Did someone do it? And it takes away that moment where you just absolutely lose yourself and you're just absolutely overjoyed.
Exactly. It's taken away the joy of a celebration of a goal.
Yeah.
It's that little bit of uncertainty, yeah.
Yeah, because you never celebrate after the decision, or people just go out.
The other question would be, if you think about this, if you took VAR, let's say we had VAR for the last 15 years, the last 20 years, how many goals would Henry, Shearer, Ian Rush, other players like that were top quality strikers? I was going to say Michael Owen, but I won't fucking won't say
don't go there.
I won't go there. But like the likes of Shearer, Henry, Rush, Teddy Sheringham, Gary Lineker, Van Nistelrooy. All of them. How many goals would they have lost to VAR because their shirt sleeve or the toe end of their boot was offside? It's absolute. That's rubbish.
It's got to go back to what we said originally. It's got to be clear, and I mean like half a yard offside, something like that. That is beneficial. And with all the money that's in play, if we're going to be spending money on technology because there's that much money in the game, it's got to be used properly. And I know it's not VAR, and I know it's only had one issue since it's been in the Premier League. But if we go to Hawkeye and goal line technology, right? Everybody's turned around and says that Aston Villa have had a fantastic season this year, which they have. However, technically, they should not be in the Premier League this year.
No, they shouldn't.
If technology had been done correctly, at the end of the day, the referees, because obviously they could have still had the opportunity to say, look, yes, your watch hasn't gone off because there was an issue with it. They could have still said, look, we've looked at the television footage and stuff. The ball was 1.5 yards over the line, whether it went up or not. That was just absolutely scandalous. The fact that, another team has been relegated instead of Aston Villa and have now been put into the financial mire of going through the Championship. Like, was it Bournemouth that came third bottom last year? Yeah. Bournemouth doesn't look like they're going to get out of the Championship this year. So how is that going to affect that club going forward through one technology blip?
Absolutely. But the other side of it, Richie, is for a club. Let's just say hypothetically that VAR decision on the game Newcastle against Burnley, as it was, it went the wrong way, right? It wasn't a penalty. It was a penalty all day long, right?
Yep.
Referees associations come out and said that Longstaff ducked his head towards it. Bollocks. Get out of it, right? It's rubbish, right? It was a clear goal scoring opportunity. He was heading the ball into what would have been a semi-empty net. I'll get the word semi in again.
Like Joel last week.
Yeah, exactly. But if that decision goes the way it did, and at the end of the season or the end of that game, Newcastle don't win that game, and those 3 points are the difference between that club going down and that club staying up, and the differential in money between the Premier League and the EFL, then you've completely lost the use of VAR and what it stands for, because it costs the club.
That could have cost us, obviously, if we'd lost that and then got relegated, that could potentially have cost us a game-changing takeover as well.
Life-changing.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But also going back to that we just said there, and I think, Sean Longstaff was a little bit naive on that first one as well, because
he should have gone down like a sack of shit.
Yeah, he didn't. He was too honest. And I don't know whether that played in the mind of Anthony Taylor of giving the decision that he gave. If he'd went down holding his face like some of the foreign imports do, it would have been a penalty all day long.
If that was Salah hits the deck like he's been shot from row 7 by a marksman.
Imagine if it was Suarez.
Exactly.
But also, have you still got that stat page up as well, which I thought was quite interesting?
Which stat? This stat, yeah.
Yeah. Burnley have had +5 decisions in their favour this season off VAR alone.
It's mental.
Now, I think we're a point behind Burnley now, right?
Yeah.
How many of those +5 overturned decisions, right, have put them in the place where they are on the table now, when they could be in the bottom 3?
Yeah.
No, look at West Brom, Richie. Look at West Brom.
Yeah.
They've had the worst run, and Liverpool, you can argue. They've had some bad luck. I mean, weirdly enough, before the weekend gone, I did say I felt like Newcastle had really escaped VAR, in the sense that I couldn't recall any really major decisions where it went against us. I mean, one in particular, I remember Hayden, the ball hit his arm, didn't it, in the box, and they still gave the goal, and I thought we got away with that. But we've been pretty unaffected by VAR, and then obviously that happens.
I think one big case that we were affected by was the Billy Sharp penalty at Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Absolutely.
That was an absolutely farcical decision to give that as a handball. Do you know what I mean?
He's an awful little player as well.
I think, to be fair, I'm actually glad that rule getting changed from next year.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the interesting thing about the table, what it does do is it shows what we were talking about, which is the absolute inconsistency.
Yeah.
It doesn't back up any top 6 conspiracy theories.
As Chris just mentioned there, if you look at West Brom, it was -6 decision against them, and Burnley +5. Those two could be a position swap in the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
That could put West Brom safe and Burnley in the bottom 3.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll move on because we'll glance at this one and then we'll move on to, because we have one more topic to discuss in headlines. We're still in headlines. I have the League One table and the League Two table. So I suppose we put this up with hopefully the lads from the Voyd joining us later on. We could talk a bit about Sunderland, but yes, Sunderland they got beaten last night.
Their asses are falling out again.
So it's looking like Hull and Peterborough, and then
that was a really, really bad result for Sunderland. Can I say?
Yeah.
I know that the boys from the Voyd are coming on, and we'll have a bit of banter and everything else. But
Josh has actually joined. He's in the green room. He's coming at the right time. We can see you, Josh. I can see you. Sorry, we'll have you on in a few minutes.
But that was a really bad result for them last night against Charlton. Was it Charlton?
No, it was Wigan.
Sorry, Wigan against Wigan. Yes, apologies.
It was it was a huge result for Wigan, though.
It was a massive result. It was a massive result for Wigan. But the inconsistency. Sunderland really, I know we do mock them, and we'll have a laugh tonight. But they really, really need to get out of that league. They cannot. I don't think they can afford to be in there again for another season. And they need to get out. And at the end of the day, as much as we do take the rivalry and we do have a bit of jip, the Northeast needs all of our teams in the Premier League. And you do miss the derbies and everything else. So I hope they do well. But I do worry for them in the playoffs and stuff. But that was a really, really bad result for them last night, unfortunately.
Lads, I think we'll move on. If
I
that's
was gonna say,
okay.
I think
Sorry,
Lee
Richard.
Johnson's made a difference.
Yeah.
I was saying, I think Lee Johnson's made a difference for the mind since he's come in.
He is, yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the concern I've been as a Sunderland fan is since they've won the Papa John's Trophy, their form's just dipped.
Mm.
Yeah,
And it's not,
exactly.
that wasn't the most important. If I was a Sunderland fan, I'd have rather have lost that and gained promotion.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cheesy trophy anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to be going back to the table again, lads. So I'm going to park the League Two table for another time. I think it's time to move on, and we'll go to. Are you ready, Chris?
Always. Loaded leaderboard.
Internet gone. Oh, no, he's still there.
Hello, yeah.
There.
I'll just turn it off now.
Okay.
Let's bring this
Show you the
leaderboard
stats.
up, Taz. Genuinely
Yeah.
don't know where we are. I've got to be
It's
near
all-
the top, mate.
Yeah, it's
I'd
gonna be
say-
interesting.
I'd
It's
say
getting
yes.
I don't
interesting.
even know why I'm asking.
I had a crap weekend.
Hey! Oh, Rich!
Oh,
No. No.
No way.
Three-way tie at the top.
Wow. Boys. Okay, so all the radio listeners, so the loaded leaderboard at the moment, we've got me on 60 points, Richy on 60 points, Martin on 60 points, and then in second, we've got Daz on 57
fourth.
points.
I
I'll give him
class myself as
second.
fourth,
Also,
yes.
No,
I don't want pity.
Can I make a point of
He's last.
Can I make a point of contention here, please?
Thanks, Richie.
If we were to look at the loaded leaderboard in the same way as we did the band leaderboard, I should, by alphabetical order, be in second there behind Chris. Third.
Yeah.
So I
Don't
would
worry.
like that change, please, for next week if that doesn't change.
Well,
I think it's the goal difference of the last
No,
couple of
it's
weeks.
goal, get out.
Martin.
Goal difference. Rich,
Let's get on to the
get
games,
out
lads.
of it.
Let's get on to it.
Yeah. Okay, boys. So thank you for that, Daz. We've got a
Oh.
Friday night kickoff this week. Friday night kickoff, and we've got Everton at home to Spurs. I'm going to kick us off, and I'm going to say an Everton home win. And what about you, Mart?
Spurs away.
I'm going to say Spurs as well.
I'm going for draw.
Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, you all know my feelings on this anyway. Okay, so we've got Newcastle and the early kickoff on Saturday. We've got Newcastle at home to West Ham. I am going for a Newcastle home win.
I am also going for a home win.
Wow, I'm surprised at that. I'm saying a West Ham win, I'm afraid.
What?
Does shocks.
What?
Well, I'm bottom of the table. I have to do something as well to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I think we'll get something, but I'm going for a draw.
Okay, mate. Okay. Then the 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, we've got Wolves at home to Sheffield United. I'm going to say Wolves home win.
Can I just ask, Chris, has that been moved?
Oh, no, you're quite right. Yeah, it has.
It
I've
has
just
been
remembered.
moved. It has been moved.
Should we
Well, we can
still
still
predict it anyway?
call a
We'll still
score.
predict it.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, we'll still
call a
predict it.
I'm going for a Wolves home win with my buddy Jack Cattle and Sam Lambeth.
And I also back Martin and Sam and Jack and go with Wolves.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll get me golden throughout again after Friday's appearance, and I'll go with the Wolves win as well.
The lucky throw.
The lucky throw.
Okay, boys. Next game we've got is Sunday, and it's 1:30 kickoff. Arsenal at home to Fulham. I'm going to say Arsenal home win.
Draw.
I'm saying an Arsenal win, but not very confident. But yeah, Arsenal win.
Arsenal win.
Yes. Okay. Then we've got 4 o'clock. Man United at home to Burnley. I'm going to say Man United home win. I'm just picking all homes here, aren't I?
Yeah, no, I think Man United win that. I'll go with you there on that.
And that's Man United for me as well.
Full house, lads.
Okay. Monday night game. We've got Leeds at home to Liverpool. I'm going to say draw.
Leeds win.
Liverpool win.
Richie's going draw. You can see it in his face. Good call, lad. He's going, yeah, it's a draw.
Okay, Tuesday night game. We've got Chelsea at home to Brighton. I'm going to say Chelsea home win.
Yeah, I agree.
And I say Chelsea home win as well.
Chelsea win.
Okay,
Jesus. Brighton win that, lads. We all look like shit.
I know. And then we've got a Wednesday night game. So we've got Spurs at home to Southampton. I'm going to say draw.
Spurs win.
Spurs win for me.
Spurs.
Okay, boys. And then the last game, we've got Aston Villa at home to Man City. I'm going to go for an away win. Man City.
Draw.
Man City.
City.
Okay, boys.
Nice one.
That's it.
Very good. We have Josh and Calv in the green room, so we're going to get them on in 1 second now. So, Martin or Chris, did you have a bit of music ready lined up for this?
I think it's Marty.
Yeah, hang on. So Richie, I'm doing the whole intro, and then Richie, you're going to introduce and everything because these are your guys.
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah, that's fine by me.
So who's saying the intro?
That's still mine. Loaded tune, but we do have a special tune. So just for the boys from the Void, here we go. Eventually. No, maybe not. Hang on. No,
Spencer's killing me.
Oh.
That's enough of that shit.
Welcome, lads. Welcome to Lord of Football Weekly.
Good evening, lads. You all right?
Evening, boys.
Good. It's really good to have you on the show. I know we've been speaking a couple of weeks now, and after I reached out to you, we obviously planned to get you on later on in the summer, but luckily we had a break and someone dropped out, so we were lucky to get you on tonight as well. And you've gratefully accepted to come on earlier, so we are absolutely over the moon that we can have a season derby with yourselves tonight. So, but just as a little background to how I actually know of the Void. I live locally as well. I live in Chester Street, so I'm not too far away from yourselves in Sunderland. And I'd heard of you, listened to your music on Spotify, I loved it. And then the penny dropped about 6 weeks ago when a friend who I used to work with is Josh's sister.
Yeah.
So I actually saw on her Instagram a picture of Josh's niece with her lovely Voyd t-shirt on. And I said, so as soon as I saw it, I actually turned around and I messaged her and I said, I've been trying to get the lads on the show. Will you have a word? Now, I don't know whether she did or not, Josh.
Yeah, she did. She
all right, hats off, Roxanne, thank you very much.
Couple of
yeah, and obviously we've got yous on, and that's basically how we found. But lads, seriously, we're so grateful on you. We can't stop listening to your music, and that is no exaggeration. Seriously,
I have to admit, I've been forced into it a little bit. But Richy got in touch. Richy got in touch and he went, Martin, you need to have a listen to this. And I went, that's not bad. And he went, they're from Sunderland. I went, I'm not fucking listening to that. No way. It's not happening. He's like, no, seriously, they've got a load more music. Just have a listen. And I was like, no, I don't fucking care. It's not happening, lads. That no way. But I will say, all joking aside, I've listened to pretty much everything you put out there. The music is top notch, lads. So fair play to you. I am a Void convert, so fair play to you.
Well, that's it. When I said to you about we're getting the Void from Sunderland, you went, nah. There's only one good thing that's come out of Sunderland, and that was the road to Washington. That's exactly what you said to me.
Do you know what it is? Though? This isn't really helping me from when I do go back from Dublin back to see me folks and stuff, because I'm chanced to get slaughtered now from any of my mates or anybody else. I have back home. Obviously, I'm from Washington originally. Obviously a black and whiter, but there's about 18 of us who kick around at home, and barring 2 of us, the rest of them are all Sunderland fans. So I have texted a few of my mates this week and said, we've got this band from Sunderland on. What are they called? The Void. Oh yeah, man, we've seen them. So there's a good few watching, and I've got a few questions as we drag on. A bit about where you were filming and some of the pubs you were filming in, because some of them look like places I've been to, but I was very fucking drunk when I was in them. So it'd be nice to reminisce. But yeah, look, it's great. It's great to have you on, boys. So fair play and welcome.
Pleasure.
So, as I said, thanks for coming on. But I think what we want to start off with first was how did you get together?
Well, we've been mates since school, to be honest. Like since I would say, when did we first start secondary school, Josh? When was that? 2007.
Yeah, well,
2007.
12, so 2007, aye.
It was since then. I mean, I only started playing guitar about 7 years ago, but Josh has been playing bass a lot longer than I picked up a guitar. And then Ali's been playing drums and guitar for ages, and Summers as well. He's been playing guitar. So it was a case of like, we always wanted to sort of band out, but it was just the missing piece was just me not being able to play guitar because we're always looking for other guitarists. So once I started playing guitar, we're like, right, we'll just go ahead and do it.
Ali, our drummer, he was he had a contract with Rotherham Football Club, so he played football, so he lived away. And then once he quit that, it all just came together, and we said, well, now's the chance to get the band together. And
so he basically got his priorities right and came home. And
yeah.
So one of the big questions, obviously, that we've been asking bands every single week has been, we've been in this unprecedented times where the pandemic's put the world to stop. But how's the pandemic and the COVID situation affected yourselves as a band?
Stagnated it a lot. Like initially, it wasn't too bad when you couldn't do gigs, but you could still practice and record because we're focused on just getting songs out. But then that stopped, and it kind of just nothing much you can do at the minute.
I think as well on Twitter with me is quite because things with the pandemic, everyone like you haven't got these big bands and up and coming bands who are doing well. For example, like the Snuts and the Lathams, when they're like up and coming and releasing like, oh, we're doing this festival and this festival, and it kind of like grows from there. It's kind of leveled the playing field in a way where everyone was on the same level. No one was gigging, no one was doing everything. So the music spoke for itself rather than the name for the band. So it's like a case of, we've got this up-and-coming band, everyone knows the name of them, we'll get them in here and they can promote themselves by like posting all these like, oh, we've got this festival and that festival. No one was doing that, so it leveled it where it was just purely down to the singles you were releasing. And I feel as if we kind of gained a little bit of a following through that, considering we had that little window of opportunity to show everyone that what we could do as well.
Yeah, I was obviously doing a bit more research on the band. There's a few things that we've noticed, as obviously doing the show that we'll discuss a bit later on in the show. I think one question I know Martin asks this every single week, and I think obviously I think I know the answer to this, but obviously want you to clarify: are you signed or unsigned?
Unsigned at the moment.
That is a disgrace.
Yeah.
Do you know what? In fairness, I can understand. I can understand why. But no.
No. Absolutely class.
To be fair, Martin, right? I remember when you said about the Washington Road Highway out of Sunderland, right? There's two other things that are good to come out to Sunderland, right? The air show, which is a good turnout every year, right? And now the Voyd. That's basically all. That's what we have to say.
I've actually been thinking about this, right? Because I know. I've been looking forward to tonight's show for a few reasons. Obviously, when we started this show, obviously we do Loaded Mag on a Friday, right? We talk about Newcastle and all things Newcastle because that's our thing, right? When we did Loaded Football, it was, we didn't want to get into Newcastle and everything else. We wanted to keep it fairly cool for everybody else and talk about all kinds of football, all different leagues, European, women's football, everything. But I particularly, once kind of Richy got this sorted out and we knew you boys were coming on, there was kind of a good buzz this week because we've been looking forward to getting you on because it's kind of like, fucking hell, lads, we can have a bit of crack, we can have a bit of banter and, there's a bit of to and fro. So I've really been looking forward to it. But from a point of watching your videos and stuff and listening to the music, it's kind of been good for me because now I've obviously moved from Washington. I've been in Dublin for 21 years now, but I was able to kind of watch the videos and go back a bit in time because it was like, I know some of the videos were obviously shot, I'm presuming along Roker and Seaburn and places like that, and I, long time ago, I used to go out with a girl who lived in Whitburn and, used to head down to, down to Roker and the Roker Hotel and down to the amusements in Seaburn and all these kind of things. So it was really good for me to kind of go back in the videos and look at places where I used to go when I was a bit younger and all that kind of stuff. So I was really excited about having you lads on this week and chatting
Back in time.
and yeah, back in time a little bit.
Is that because one of the videos is in black and white, Martin?
It is, obviously I'm a bit older than most people on this podcast, but yeah, it was good, but it was nice. I really enjoyed the videos. I spent a bit of time last week just sitting and listening to the music while I was working at home and watching I was watching the videos. I was meant to be fucking working, but I was watching the videos. But it was nice for me as somebody that doesn't live in that area anymore to be able to look back on what you lads are doing and seeing where you were filming. And I have to say, I did really, really enjoy it. So it was nice to reminisce. So
that means a lot in the mug.
Exactly. And that's about as good as the compliments I'm getting tonight. So that's a lot.
I think that's it. That's hit the bar there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the bar will definitely be lowered from now on, Cal. So that's it.
My compliment to you lads is that you have nine songs on Spotify, and it took me about 3 days, not because my broadband is really slow, but 3 days to narrow that down to 6. I sometimes I struggle to get 2 songs on the system for people to play, but I've got 6 of your songs because I absolutely love them. And Steph and Richy are going to go to one of your concerts. We've definitely. I'm sitting at your house, Richy, when I come over, and we're going to a Voyd concert.
Yeah, I think there's a bigger question there, which is obviously, we put out this. I put out a joke tweet there a few weeks back about doing Loadstock, which was a festival with unsigned bands back in the Northeast or somewhere in the UK, where all these bands that are coming on the show would come and play. And we do something for charity. So I think the first question needs to be asked: if we can get that off the ground, would the Voyd play for us and come and play at the gig for us?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So that's another one. So there's at least 3. There's at least 3 bands.
Well, we know it's more than that, mate. We know it's more than
that. It is. Yeah. No, we will. I think we definitely try and get that off the ground.
I don't know about you, Martin. I think it's time to play the first song.
Let's get a bit of music on and see what these lads are about. The first song that we're
going to pick, there's a little bit of a... I know this is Daz's favourite song.
Yeah, my favourite.
And to be fair, it had to be played for one reason alone. 2. It's a hell of a song, but how on earth you got Matthew Kelly and stars in their eyes in this song is unbelievable. And it deserves to be because of that. So Daz, do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, here I'm going to play my favorite one, lads, and I want to ask you a question after this. Is about who came up with the lyrics for this song. But we'll play the song first, so everyone gets to hear it. And this is Shameless.
Tonight, I see you wondering, someone to say
Good lads.
Not bad.
Not
That's
bad.
odd.
All right, wasn't it?
So go on, Dan. What was it you wanted to ask about that question? That song?
Yeah, I was just reading
Me?
about the lyrics, Richie.
No, Dan.
Hold on. Daz,
You
sorry.
might-
I've got a
Oh,
question.
hate it
I've got
now.
a question as well. I've got a question as well. Go on. Go
Go
on,
on,
Daz.
Yeah, so my question is, can you hear me? Yeah. Is who came up with the lyrics for Seamus?
That would
Carl.
be me. Aye.
Nice one,
Carl's
mate.
a good
Love it.
lyrics.
I just
My
wanted to-
que-
Good job.
Go on.
Come on.
My question is, obviously there was a couple of pubs and stuff in there. Then you were on a grassy bank and a hill. So I've got two questions. What was the pub you filmed in? And then the bit where you were alongside the motorway and up by the hill, was that the A690 and you were up near Penshaw, or where were you when you filmed all those bits?
It's not far from there, is it?
Yeah, that video was two of our like kind of. So we've got our other two tracks, Sleeping Alone and Fallen Empire. They're two videos that were done for that. Them two tracks. That video Shameless was just when lockdown had kind of hit, where we were like, we had the song recorded, we had it there for release, but we didn't have a video, and that's when the cut-off point for like the whole lockdown thing was, so we couldn't get out the video it. So we ended up using Sleeping Alone footage as well as the Fallen Empire footage and some bits that weren't used from both of them, putting it together.
Okay.
But the road's next to Dalton Park.
Okay, cool. And where was the pub? Where was the pub? What was the pub?
Joseph, wasn't it?
Joseph's in Sunderland Town Centre.
Okay.
In Sunderland Town, like.
Because obviously back in the day when I was a wee young lad, you used to be able to go to Idols, which was in the middle of Sunderland. So it kind of just gave me reminiscence of that. But I don't think Idols is there no more.
Idols, but I don't know if that's well before my time. But might
Yeah.
be. I don't know how
Thanks,
long
mate. You don't need to make me feel any older than I already am. Thanks.
I think that's a fantastic question from Julie there. Do you want to answer that one,
Exactly,
lad?
yeah,
Which
it is.
celebrity would you be on Stars in Your Eyes?
Which celebrity would you be in? That's a really good question, actually. Elvis. But I haven't got the
Elvis.
line.
Nice one.
See, I would have gone the other way. I would have said if I was doing the Stars in the Eyes piece, I would have said Calv would be a very, very good attempt at Kelly Jones from the Stereophonics.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll get that everywhere I go.
Yeah,
That's a good one, actually. Everywhere I go.
there is a good link in the voice there. I think you could pull that off, mate.
Everyone
There's I was actually going to bring this question up actually in the bit later on about the salaries, but something I've noticed of listening to the songs for like the last God knows how many weeks and not being able to stop listening to them. The one thing that I noticed about your voice, Cal, you sound so much like Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day in some of the songs.
At my place where I work, someone had mentioned that before when we released a track called What I'm Feeling. Someone says, you realise that song doesn't sound like Green Day, but you do. I was like, it's not what I'll go. That's not what I go for. Like, but I successful.
So what are the influences voice wise then, Cal?
I don't have. Do you know this, right? I used to take influence a lot from my vocals, from like, for example, like Milburn, Alex Turner, DMAs, kind of thing like that. But I think with your voice, it's your voice and your voice only. So you have to do your own voice, and if you're not doing your own voice, you're just copying. You're not taking influence. It's not really. It goes from like an influence to a part to just like kind of just complete plagiarism when it comes to vocals. You need to do your own voice. Obviously, like a guitar riff can sound exactly like another guitar riff, but your voice can't unless you pretend.
Yeah, it's unique to you.
Yeah, it's like authentic. You need to kind of keep that as well, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, I think that's proved by what you've just said there, by the amount of people who have told you you've got a voice similar to someone else, but not just one person. It's been several. That makes your voice unique, doesn't it?
It gives it that bit like people always say like, oh, I think that one's my favorite song, or this one's my favorite song, that one's like all the different ones. But you know, you sound like it's bad, you sound like and it kind of shows like the versatility and what we have in our music, which can go a long way when appealing to an audience, because you're not just going to appeal to a certain audience. Obviously, you know what I mean. So
I'll be honest, I don't think there's a band who I can turn on and say the Voyd sound like these. I think you sound like the Voyd. It sounds like everything that you've done is you. There's nothing. Do you know what I mean? I think that's probably one of the best compliments you can get. There isn't any other comparison.
Yeah.
So
where does the go on. Sorry, Daz. I was going to say I was just going to ask where does the name come from?
So what we've done is we had a few names before this. I mean, quite like what it used to boil down to was the fact when we used to go to our old studio where we used to rehearse, you need to ring in and you need to book it up and you need to say what your band name is. And every time we felt like a twat saying the name, we knew that wasn't the name that we should have. So, for example, the first ever one we had was called Rollin', as in like rock and roll. Remember that? We used to have that, and that was like when we kind of liked it, but it wasn't like aesthetically pleasing in a way where you looked at it on like a poster or something. We couldn't really get it right. Did it have a G on the end? Did it not? Did it have an apostrophe? We couldn't really get that right. So then after that, we were called The Zone. But then every time we go to the studio, we're like, The Zone's like, it sounds a bit boy bandish, that, doesn't it? So we're like, nah.
Zone.
Nightclub, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I remember just being at one of my mates' house parties before. We just went out for a tab outside, and Jim Summers, who's our lead guitarist, came up to us and says, "You went, do you know this is the band?" I was like, he's like, "I reckon we should be called the Voyd." And I was just instantly, then I was like, "That's the name for the band. That's class." Yeah. Like, I think he's like, I don't think it should be VOID. I think it should be spelled with a Y, so it's a bit different. So it's not just like. Because I don't even know what the actual reasons was to with the Y, but it just looked good and sounded good, and we're like, "Yeah, we'll go with that," and it just stuck.
No, that's good. That's a good answer. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the difference between the gap of the Premiership and League One. That was all. I just want to clarify. Listen, lads, listen. I told you there was going to be a bit of crack tonight. You're more than welcome to fight.
Longer than I thought.
Let's get to Tom's question.
We're not talking about the title of the league gap. We're talking about the age gap.
Yeah. So anyway, Daz, who are the musical guests for next week, mate?
No, I think we'll go to. We have plenty of questions in the chat.
The questions are firing in.
Selected with them. So let's go to Tom's question. What do you feel is your best song you've released and why?
I'll let you go, Pav. I've got one in mind.
I would, me personally, for being like, for what I do in the band vocally, I would say I enjoy Be There. I think Be There is probably my favourite, purely for the fact of how easy it was to write, how much it had a good response, and how easy it is to sing. But when I listen back to it, it sounds like a lot of people have said to us, like, do you not think that, like, because when I'm singing the chorus of that song, a lot of people think like it's a hard song to sing, but for me, it's actually it's not, which makes me enjoy doing it live because I know that I can do it well and make it sound big in a way where I enjoy playing it. So I'd probably say Be There personally. What would you say, Josh?
I like the last one, Get Away. I think that's probably the best. I just remember when we were in the studio and it all started coming together when Ali the drummer came in with the drums and we were all just jumping about the studio, buzzing.
We were just jumping about
the 8 cans deep, just jumping about the studio. So I
think that's the perfect place to actually link to the second song before we take some more questions from the viewers, because just before we get to the second song, which we are going to play, is actually, your latest single, Getaway, is Daz has actually got something we want to show you on here, which we thought was fantastic. And we want to know, how did you feel when you saw this on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. The legend that is Robert Carlyle recommending you for his Saturday tracks on his in February, and he recommended The Voyd.
Unbelievable.
I remember you sent a screenshot in the chat and you were like, "Fuck me, lads, look at this," and we were all buzzing.
I remember waking up, I think it was like a Saturday or Sunday morning, I can't remember now, and I remember waking up and just being like proper heavy-headed from the hangover, and seeing that, and just woke up and was like one eye open, and I was just seeing the blue tick and thought, "Oh, was that?" And looked at it, I was like, "What?" And I read it again and I kind of like focused because I was a bit hungover, and I was like, I was still like, "What?" And then like I was like, "Whoa!" So I remember just like buzzing about it, sent a screenshot. I was like, "Lads," and then we were like, "Fuck it out." And then I remember going downstairs, showing my mum and dad's like, "Look at that!" Because my mum and dad because my mum and dad were born like early 70s, so when they were growing up, they were like of age when the first Trainspotting came out.
You don't need to keep rubbing this age fucking thing in, Carl. Jesus Christ! Fucking hell! I feel bad enough as it is, lad. Without you going, my mum and dad were born in the 70s. I'm like, This is not going well here at all.
But it was like I went down, showed them it, and then they were like buzzing off, and it's like, Robert Carlyle, how mad is that? But since then as well, someone's tweeted saying, "Have you heard of the Voyd?" And he tweeted them back saying, "I love the Voyd." And that was like a little bit of a, I don't know, just a kind of like a. It wasn't a case of like he didn't just share because he heard the song once. It's a case of that he does actually like our music and loves us as a band. So I was like, that's sealed of approval, really.
I think it's really good. It's a good test because obviously, as we said, Martin and myself, and probably Chris, we grew up watching. I was in my late teens when Trainspotting came out, and the music in that films, you've got like Iggy Pop and stuff like that, which was fantastic. Yeah. And then
tracks that stay with you. I think it builds your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The one good thing about this podcast is it's brought me and Martin back into finding out about new music. And it's like brought that cycle background. And it's good to see that Robert Carlyle was there when we were listening to music in the late 90s. And now we're both listening to the same sort of music and love the same music.
I think
20 years on.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think the thing for me, obviously without getting back into the age thing again, you lads give me another kick. I think the thing for me, since we've been doing this pod, the thing that shocked me is there is so much great music out there that is not signed is an absolute fucking travesty. Yeah. And you talk about the Robert Carlyle piece and looking at the blue tick. And again, listen, we'll have a bit of banter tonight as the show rocks on. And we'll talk a bit of football in a while. But we were the same when we got the yes from you lads coming on, because it is about for us getting bands out there and giving exposure. And if we can do that for some local lads, from our area, then listen, it's absolutely our pleasure to have you on, and we'll keep pushing you and promoting you. And as and when you get famous, I think Julie said there, I'm free to be a roadie, so I am. So my knees are shot. So if I can have an easy job like carrying mic stands and shit, then I'll be all right.
So, Daz, we
go for the tune, Rich.
Let's get a tune, lads. Let's get a tune.
Let's get away. Enjoy.
Tell me where you wanna meet up past 3 in the morning.
Excellent, lads. Nice one. Great guitar work in that one.
It is, yeah. I think one question that's have to be asked though, because obviously we're seeing a lot of the Sunderland surroundings. Is it Queen's Cafe or Mincella's for your fish and chips?
Ooh.
I'd say Queens.
I used to be Mincella's, but now I go Queen's. Queen's is
the right answer, lad. It's got to be Queen's. It's got to be Queen's. That's the right answer.
Queen's. Queen's has been there longer. It's the OG. It's been
used
there
to
for
go
years.
on sneak off from school when you weren't allowed out for dinner. Sneak down to Queen's Cafe and get cod bites and chips for dinner.
To be fair, it's actually that's our favourite chip shop in the northeast. So whenever we fancy, we always pop over from Chester. Yeah, always.
Really nice fish and chips.
I'd say Queen's. That's what when Mincella's had first opened, and they had this slush machine in that Queen's never used to. So I used to go there. This is something like 10 years ago now, and I used to always go there for the slushes. My mum and dad used to be like, "Why are you going to Mincella's? There's Queen's there. Queen's is there." I was like, "I know, but you can't get your slushes from there." It's like, "I know, but Queen's is better." I just think they like know that longer. So.
So that was another class song. So Daz, what questions? I know we've had a lot coming in. So what questions have we got from the viewers?
Yeah,
then?
we've got I'm going to go to football questions.
I've got a football question for the lads, but I was keeping my powder dry, so I'll wait until you've asked one.
What's the best local derby you've been to?
Like game. Obviously it's going to be Newcastle, but like particular game. I'm assuming he's asking. Probably Barini 2-1.
That was the Canyo, was it celebrating?
Yeah, I never got to away games.
No, I think annual celebration was at St James, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
He stood. That was when he stood on top of the boardings, wasn't it?
Yeah, and done his little
the slide. With
the teeth.
Yeah. Never liked him.
Yeah, it all went downhill from that. Barini 2-1. Just because when they brought him on, I don't think he'd scored for us yet, and I was thinking, oh fucking hell, he's bringing on.
He hadn't scored up till that point.
Yeah, and then he just hit one.
To be fair, Martin, right? We haven't changed much this season because how many strikers have been on a route until they played us this season? So it's just
exactly. We are a team with all the streaks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're out of form. You to score goals, just play Sunderland, and you'll guarantee the hat trick.
Yeah, well, we're much like that this season. So yeah, that's a good question from Paul Loxley. Lads, who are your favourite players or favourite past players?
I've always loved. Right, I've always loved Jason McAteer. From he's a old school player. He's with us for years. The only hiccup he had, I would say, let him down was when we played Millwall in the semi-final of the FA Cup at Old Trafford, and he got sent off, and we got beat 1-0 off. Tim Cahill scored.
Tim Cahill loved scoring against us. Me probably Steve Malbronk. I thought he was a little.
Steve was a great player.
Didn't score many goals, but he was lovely to watch. Like,
see, I'd go back obviously because I'm a little bit older than you lads. So I would if I go back and I look at past Sunderland teams. I think at a point a long time ago, you had a really good strike force in Gates and Gabardini, who would have been about. So I can remember going. I went to Roker Park, obviously with Newcastle 1-1-0. Liam O'Brien put it over the wall, and Gates and Gabardini were the strike force. But Marco Gabardini for me was a top striker for Sunderland, and his partnership with Gates was just something else. Back in the day, obviously Phillips and Quinn, but we don't like to talk about those too much.
That's what I was going to say when you said about the few players. I was going to say Kevin Phillips and Al Quinn, but I just thought I was a bit.
No, we don't talk about those cows. So those names won't be mentioned anymore this evening.
Martin, to be fair, though, what you've got to look at that partnership actually helped Newcastle out because it got rid of Hullett and it brought Bobby Robson in.
It did, yeah. A rainy night in St James's, yeah. And it won Kevin Phillips the Golden Boot as well. So there you go.
Yeah,
it did.
Do you miss the Tynemere derby, lads?
Massively.
Yes, but now I'm very nervous for it to happen again because if it was to happen anytime soon, I think we'd be on the receiving end of a bad one.
Oh, definitely, to say the least. I think see the thing is for us, it was always a case of not just the actual match itself, but the whole day, waking up at 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, 7 in the morning, getting ready, meeting everyone, 30
build up, pints, food, the game, the afters, win, lose or draw. Exactly.
Well,
It's an experience. It's not just a game.
So
Question for you, Josh.
Stuff about like Newcastle. See, I've got two fantastic memories because my two best mates are actually Sunderland fans, and I used to live in Whitley Bay originally until I moved to Chesley Street when I was 14. And the first time I went down to my mate's house, and his dad still tells the story to this day, nearly 30 years on. And I turned up in my Newcastle top, and he says, "Right, I'll let you off this once, but this is a Sunderland household, so I will not allow you to wear a Newcastle top in here anymore." So we went upstairs, etc. The next time I came around, he turned around and he said, "I love the fact that you actually listen to us and you haven't put your top on this time. You can come in." I says, "Oh, thanks, Keith." As I went, I took my top off, my coat off. There's my Newcastle top off underneath, and he went, "You know what? I like that lad."
Lads, I think we should actually get to the quiz because we're going to run out of time
Yes.
otherwise. So, are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready. Loaded quiz 2. Got to throw that 2 in there. Why not? Why not? Okay, so last week I was absent, but I saw that the Outcharm, Outcharm scored 17 points, which is fantastic. Richy, once again, mate, thank you very much for standing in for me in the absence of my toe injury. So thank you very much for that. So yeah, the Voyd today, boys. So you need more than 17 points to top the table, and honestly, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. So as I say, I've put this quiz together. It should be kind to you. I hope it is. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping as always. So I just wanted to let you know there's going to be 13 questions and there's 16 points up for grabs, and there's a possible 2 or 4 bonus points at the end. Okay, so question number 1. Who was Liverpool manager when Liverpool signed Jordan Henderson from Sunderland?
Oh, fucking hell.
That's a good start.
That's not good. I have no idea.
He's old school.
I have a rough idea.
I've got a name, but I don't think it's right.
Spit it out.
You can confer, by the way, lads. You can before you
can
give your final
confer.
answer.
Yeah.
Carl, do you have any idea?
I don't know, because I remember when they signed Mingley off us, but I can't with Henderson.
Was he French?
I don't know.
No, I'm
Scottish.
Oh,
Scottish.
not Rogers.
It's the same one that signed Suarez and Carroll, was it, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, I can picture him. What's his fucking name?
He's a Liverpool legend. He managed Newcastle as well, if that helps.
Yeah, managed Newcastle, yeah.
Blackburn.
Huh?
Rough Benitez, isn't it?
No, I don't think it was Rafa. I don't think it was Rafa. No, I'm gonna have to pass. I can't think of his name. I can see his face. Looks like
Okay, boys, we'll skip to the next one. Okay. So, what shirt number does midfielder Aidan McGeady wear for Sunderland?
29. Is that wrong?
Close. It's close.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah,
it's
but
close.
Everything. I don't even know his number. It's not 33, is it? No, I think it's 33.
Very, very. You were very, very close. Not right, but you were close.
28.
I'll take that. Okay. Jesse Nelson announced her departure from which pop group in December?
Little Mix.
Oh man, Carl, you were fucking so quick to get that, but you didn't know the second one.
You know, we're trying to sell that the band's all rock and roll and everything. You get a question like that on Little Mix.
Oh, he's like,
as well.
Is that right?
Who was it? Yeah,
Yeah,
hang on a minute.
no,
Who was it?
quick, not like.
Who was it? Signed Henderson? Hang on, yeah.
Quick.
Somebody signed Henderson. Somebody said, oh, I'm not sure. When did Little Miss finish? Oh, I fucking know that. I know that.
Okay, boys. Question number 4. Which French footballer is the cover star on the game FIFA 21?
Is it Mbappe?
And we were talking about him before.
Got to be Mbappe, is it?
Okay, boys. Now, you like this one. This one's very broad, and I don't think you'll have any problems with this. Okay, so this one's for 2 points. Can you name me 2 players to have played for both Newcastle and Sunderland?
Michael Chocolate.
Aye.
Horrible callback.
No, I got
There you go. Love that. You've done it already.
No bitterness there at all.
Ginger
Yeah.
Pirlo.
What I'll do as well, so you've got that, boys. You smashed that. What I will do is at the end, I'll read you out the list, and it's a very long list. Okay.
Yeah.
So, question number 5. Is a dolphin classed as a mammal or a fish?
Mammal?
I'm going to go mammal. I'm going to go mammal.
Mammal?
Because maybe give birth or something to live young or something. Is that right? Is that the way you work it out? I'm going to go mammal. Yeah.
It's a good job you lads are good musicians, I tell you what. Jesus.
Right, okay, question number 7. Which basketball star tragically died in a helicopter crash in January 2020?
Yeah.
There you go. There he is. Okay. The Premier League's all-time top scorer played his last game for Newcastle in a 4-1 win over Sunderland. I had to add that, by the way, because people are discussing who's the best all-time Premier League striker. Can't believe that. Anyway, but lads, who scored for Sunderland on that day, on that 4-1 game?
I went to the game. I think I was fucking many years ago. I can't remember the name. I'm trying to raise.
I'll give you the clue, yeah, because it was a while ago. To be fair, so it was a defender.
I was there at that game.
You signed him from Arsenal. Was he on loan from Arsenal, Mart, or did he sign?
He was on loan from Arsenal. Yeah, no, he was on loan.
Oh,
I've erased that time period.
Sunderland scored the first half. Went in.
Yeah, I remember we won 1-0.
He scored first goal.
I remember someone ran on the pitch with his season tickets.
Yeah.
I
Did he?
I remember.
Did he not also give the penalty away?
Huh?
Was it not the same player that also gave the penalty away for Shearer to score his final goal for the Black and Whites? I think he did.
I keep on thinking, I keep on going to see Martin Poom, but he's a goalkeeper. He scored the header.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I remember the game, but I was pretty young. But I can't remember the name of the.
I'll come back to that one, boys, and let you know what it was. Okay, so question number 9: which Netflix series saw a sudden surge of chessboard sales in October?
The Gambit or something. What's that one that you're doing watching, Josh?
I don't watch this.
Gambit.
I don't watch it.
What was it, Gambit or something?
Yeah, I'll go Gambit.
You're on the right track, Cal.
Yeah, it's close. There's a word before it.
The Great Gambit?
No,
Royal Highness.
I'll give you a clip with the chess piece on the board. It's probably the best
Queen's Gambit
piece on the board.
Yeah.
The Queen.
Nailed.
There he is. Well done, boys. Okay. Which fast food company used the advertising slogan, "I'm loving it"?
McDonald's.
There you go, boys. And this one will be right up your street. This one, lads. I'd be shocked if you don't know this. In the film Jungle Book, what is the bear called?
Oh fucking hell. Mowgli.
It's not that. Yeah.
No, it's Mowgli's. Man. Blue? No, not blue. Is it? No.
Is it Baloo?
It's close. That's close. Josh, you're close.
Baloo. Not blue.
Baloo, isn't it? Baloo?
Blue.
Yeah. You got it, boys. You got it.
Little Mick.
Lads, what are we doing here?
Next
what's
question.
happening now? I'm starting to get a soft spot here helping the Mackhams out. What's going on here?
I think
We obviously left the 2 cleverest ones as well.
Yeah, I don't want to leave on 2 points. Thanks for the hint.
Right, okay. Who recently became the first Japanese man to ever win a major at the Masters?
Oh, I don't know.
He literally won at the weekend.
Nah, I know like Tiger Woods. That's about it.
Shinsuri Nakamura.
Tell you what, that's not too far.
Chinese.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, boys, and the last question. Kevin Phillips won the European Golden Shoe in the year 2000. How many goals did he score that season?
Oh, it's like 30.
It's a very round figure.
30?
Okay, boys. Fantastic. Right, so you scored a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you've scored 11, boys, okay? Which is it's cracking effort. You've done well there. You've done well.
There were some tough questions in amongst that, to be fair.
Do you think some of them were tough ones? Yeah. Sorry,
Well,
boys.
yeah, because I think you've got that Masters one at the weekend, right? You've got to remember these two young lads have got life and like for you, and you think they're expecting to be watching the Masters. No, they're not like us, you know. We've got no housebound with kids, you know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sorry, boys. Yeah, maybe I've sold you short there. Sorry about that. Right, so I'll go through the ones who you got wrong, just to let you know. So the Liverpool manager, when Liverpool signed Jordan Henderson from Sunderland, was Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, we should have got that. That's terrible. That.
Some of the players who you didn't mention played for both Newcastle and Sunderland. So we had, you said Colback and Chopra, which is correct, but we had Chris Waddle, Paul Bracewell, Jeff Clark, Bob Moncur, Barry Venison, Lee Clark, Stan Anderson, Brian Pop-Robson, Len Shackleton, Patrick Van Arnholt, Shay Given, Steve Caldwell, Titus Bramble, Michael Bridges, Robbie Elliott, Danny Simpson, Andy Cole, which I completely forgot about, David Kelly, Louis Sahar, and then you also had, I was going to give you it if you were going to say it, but we also had Steve Harper, but he didn't actually play a game for you, but he did sign for.
Yeah, he came on loan. Not on loan, but he didn't end his career there or something.
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? He went there and then he didn't play and then left. So he was there as backup. The Premier League player who scored in the 4-1 defeat to Newcastle was Justin Voyd.
I said that.
Did you?
Did you say Justin Voyd?
Can I just say, in fairness to Cal, I think you do need to add that in because I did hear him shout out Hoyt.
Right, okay, boys.
I will give benefit of the doubt. I think you need to add a point.
We'll do a recce then. Do it,
yeah.
And do you know what, Martin? You having a go at us for being soft on them, are we?
No, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Listen, lads, anybody that watch these pods know I don't like Mackems at all, right? But in fairness to Calv, he did shout it out. So I don't want to see people stung for no reason. You know what I mean?
When I said his name, no one had I looked at everyone, no one even acknowledged the fact that I said it. And I thought, oh, well, that's definitely wrong. Then
no, I did hear it.
He showed up my answers, and we're like, nah.
There was a little bit of me that when Chris never picked up, and I was a little bit of me went, haha, there you go.
Calvin, I'll pre-warn you now. There'll probably be a message after the show in a direct message from Martin saying, stuck up for you, send me tickets in the post for your next gig in Ireland.
No, I'm not even. You know what it is? Richie, you know my story. I say the same thing to every band that comes on. As and when everybody gets sorted and COVID dies down, Cal, Josh, if we don't get to you, will you please come and do a gig in Dublin or somewhere in Ireland? Even if it's mine or Daz's back garden, will you just come and play that we can get pissed and have a good weekend?
Full of Guinness.
My second name is Doyle, and my great granddad was Irish, so he's like.
There you go, right.
So.
Sorted. Right, Calv, you're staying. You and Josh can just stay at mine. I'll make room on the couch. Let's come out the back of mine. We'll have a weekend on the piss. I'll bring you the local, and then just play music out the backyard. That works. Yeah, Josh, happy days,
lads. Boys.
Happy
so
days.
just to clarify, you got to score 12 points. So yeah, to scratch 11, it was 12. And the other question that you got wrong was the Japanese man to win the Masters. It was Hideki Matsuyama. So you were close with your pick. There you go. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay, boys. So now it's bonus question time. So you've got two choices, lads. Sorry. You've got two choices. You can take the bonus question worth 2 points, but the downside to this, lads, is that there'll be no extra song played later in the show. Or you can, if you wish, take on Challenge Loaded. Now, this means you automatically get an extra song played, and you can ask all of us lads a question, or just one of us. This question's going to be worth 4 points, and if we 4 points to you if we get it wrong, but if we get it right, you're not going to get anything. So it's a bit of a gamble. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Right then, to be fair, you also get a song played if we get it wrong as well. So
yeah, the song's guaranteed. Anyway. It's automatic. Yeah.
Right, then we have a question.
I've got a question. It can either be really easy or really hard, depending what was said. Really, I don't know the minute the goal was scored, but I think that's too harsh. I'll just go with the goal scorer in the Sunderland's FA Cup win in 1973.
So is it to all of us or one of us, Josh?
One after director Chris. I think one of these already knows the answers.
Sorry about that,
He's
Josh.
useless. He's
Sorry,
such a prick. He's never going to
I
get
was
this
waiting
right.
for that, man.
I know the answer.
So do I.
That was a good move then.
So do I, because I saw the
What is
question
it?
earlier. Sorry, Josh.
1973.
Who
FA
scored the
Cup
goal
Who
in
scored the goal?
1973 FA Cup win?
Who scored the goal?
Wow.
This couldn't really have gone any worse for us whatsoever. Anyway,
No. You all knew it and I didn't. 1973. Is there someone I'm going to know, or am I just not going to know it?
no, you're not going to know it at all.
You're
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
No, you're
Justin
never gonna guess
Hoyt.
There we go.
it. No,
Little Nick.
no.
Little Mix.
Little Nick.
So you don't know.
Go
You
on,
don't. You
put me
don't.
on my
You
misery.
don't
What
know.
was it?
Ian Porterfield.
Yeah, in
Ian
Porterfield.
Porterfield. Nah, I wouldn't have got that. Wouldn't have got that.
And it was
Fair
a
play,
game.
boys.
It
Either
was a
way.
game. Not
Fair play.
only was it a game that was known for Sunderland's giant killing of a Leeds team that was very, very good, but more so than Porterfield's goal to take the cup back home to Sunderland was Jimmy Montgomery's double save. It was actually the pointer of the game. So there you go.
It was a phenomenal performance. That
It was double save. There was only ranked in history along with Gordon Banks' double save from Pele in the World Cup. Would you know? There you go. There are
Boys,
benefits
before
to
we
being
move
older,
on-
lads. That's all I'll say.
Before we move on, there was a question I wanted to ask you. I'm going to squeeze it in there now while I've got opportunity. Now, I've seen the Sunderland Till I Die series. And I must admit, I'm a big football fan in general anyway. And honestly, I wasn't just laughing and enjoying it. I promise you I wasn't. I actually really enjoyed. I liked seeing behind the scenes. And, you know, like I've watched the Tottenham one as well. But what I wanted to ask you was, well, firstly, have you seen it? And if you have seen it, would you say it was like a fair reflection on what was going on in the club at the time? Or do you think it was a bit...
Good question.
Kind of.
I've seen most of it, and then I got sick of the pain of watching it. It was there, but there was people within the club who are, from my point of view, I thought were good for the club. And then when you're seeing the way they acted behind scenes, you got to see the true colours and put some people like in a bad light.
Martin
Kane, I wasn't a fan, but after watching some of that, he actually looked like one of the decent people who did actually care for the club, but he just had bad people around him.
Yeah.
That would be my question. You know, watching that, was Charlie Methven the complete wanker that he turned out to be? Because he looked like one,
and he still is. He's an absolute.
Probably is.
I think for me, I watched that, lads, and like Chris, you know, I'm a big football fan, so I love watching all those kind of things. But I think he did during that series. He did Sunderland as a football club, right? As a northeastern lad, as a football lad. He did Sunderland no favours in that documentary whatsoever. And I think, you know, there was a scene on it when he talks to the girl that was doing, I don't know, there's a bit on it where he talks to a girl with a clipboard about something and he just kind of says, no, just go and fucking do it. And I think that was bad. That was a really, really bad reflection of the club because, you know, it is a great club. It's got good heritage. You know, everybody loves a derby. And I think it was a sad indictment, really, of what the club was at the time. And I think it was unfortunate that it wasn't for me. There was bits in it. Obviously, there's bits in it you laugh, and obviously the relegations and stuff. As a black and white, you kind of go, but there's bits in it where you look at it and you do genuinely feel the pain, and you look at it and you go, do you know what? That's not right. That's not good.
Do you know what, Mark? The part you were talking about, it was when she was counting the tickets, wasn't it? And he wanted.
He wanted to know about ticket sales.
Yeah.
Two great clips. That one that showed him up to be the man he was. The other one was when he wanted to introduce the rave music for the walkout music, which was fucking top
that was fucking
class.
funny. That was fucking funny. That reminded me. That had a little bit of like, I don't know if you've seen it. You know, The Office. It just reminded me a little bit of The Office. You know, when it showed
the only thing that was missing was that.
No,
and then there was a part where Ibrahimovic or someone was at the bottom of the list. That's just embarrassing.
But look,
Do you know
lads,
what?
listen, we're no better
what
down the
came
road
across
with
really
Mike
well?
Ashley and everything else, so
Yeah.
you're not on your own, boys.
Yeah.
So
Lads,
I thought Chris Coleman come across really well. You know, I liked Chris Coleman. I thought he
Yeah.
seemed a really genuine
I like-
fella.
I like
I felt a bit sorry for him.
I felt a bit sorry for that where where one of our fans when he
Tossing him outside, yeah.
outside the stadium and called him a prick, and he says,
Yeah.
"My wife."
Do you know
what?
We've got a moment where we had a lad in a black and white shirt that hit a horse. Do you know what? That lad that called out Coleman outside your ground, that was your horse moment, lads.
And that was 8 years ago today. or something.
Exactly.
8 years ago today.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Daz, what were you going to say? We're all
Yeah,
chatting
I was
garbage
Sorry,
and stuff.
Daz.
No, I was just going to say that we're I think we're going to have a 3-hour show tonight, but I think we should play a tune. And when we come back,
Daz, can I just say it's quite fitting that Chris rounded off that about Southern Side Eye because it fits in quite nicely to the next song. Because a little bird told me that Cal wrote this song about Southern's demise from the Premier League to League One.
Oh,
No,
this has got to be Fallen Empire, is it?
It is Fallen Empire.
No one
Right.
told you that.
Can I just say?
No,
Can I
but
just
to be
say,
fair,
right?
This is actually my favourite song, and not for
I
those
was just
reasons, Cal.
gonna
I just
say-
love this song.
I did not know that that's what it was written about, but this
Was it
tune,
on-
Fallen Empire, is by far the best song that I think you boys have put out, and that's just my feel on it. I love this song. I think it's brilliant.
It's
Let's
good that
play.
we've all got different favourites. I like that.
It
Yeah.
wasn't about Sunderland's fucking demise, by the way. Can we just get that?
It's fitting.
Why you picked that
I
one
would
up
love
from?
it.
I love it. Yeah. Right, come on, Dad.
Here we
Spin
go.
the decks, lads. Spin the decks.
And Martin, get ready for the sponsors after this because we haven't even mentioned the
we haven't
sponsor
even
yet.
mentioned sponsors yet. We will do it after this.
Stop me, I don't wanna see what he
Class, lads. Well done. And everyone is agreeing with us as well. Everyone's loving the comments are flying in. Everyone loves the songs as well. Catch the guys on YouTube as well. There's about and Spotify. There's about 9 songs there, lads, and they're all class. And we're gonna play another song in 10 minutes time because I want to make sure that the 2,000 people that'll listen to this on Saturday on away days radio from 1 to 3 that they get to hear the lads because these guys need a record deal. They need to be signed because they're just amazing. That's
lads. Before we go on to the promotion, I was just going to say, do you have any gigs lined up? Obviously, with now that lockdown restrictions are lifted.
Right. So we do, but we're not allowed to say. We're contractually sworn to secrecy that we can't say. I would love to be. Just, you know what it is, right? In that little break that I was just texting Josh saying this is probably the best interview I've done so far. All the other ones have
I've enjoyed it. Been a good laugh.
I like doing interviews because I enjoy the whole kind of like being in the band and doing interviews and everything like that. But I think this has definitely been by far the best one I've ever done. For the whole layout you've got, it's been really good. And for that sake, I would love to be able to tell you what we've got announced, but I just can't.
So the whole build up and premise to that speech, Cal, was actually just a load of bullshit.
Still not going to tell you.
Right, I'll tell you what. So here's a deal, right? So you've got some stuff lined up. You can't tell us. Here's our deal to you guys, right? And it's twofold. One, if we get this charity gig, because obviously you'll see as we do the sponsors, we are sponsored by Mind, Body and Soul who look after men's mental health and everything else, right? If we get this charity gig up and running and we do something for Mind, Body and Soul, will you guys agree to play for us? That's one. The second piece is when you do get obviously the album release or you get the next single out, will you guarantee us an exclusive play before you put it out to anybody else?
Oh, see, that's a hard question. That's a hard promise to make because the way it works out in this industry is the fact that like you put singles out there to get everyone's attention. Once you've got someone's attention, i.e. a record label, they're the ones who tell you that you can do the album. So after they've got their hands around you, it's up to them who you send it to. Like, so I wouldn't want to make it.
So that's a yes.
That's
a yes. That's fine.
If it was up to me, I'd say yes twice, but like it's might not be up to me.
Look, we'll take the gig, and if things work out, what we would ask you then, if you do get to that point and you can release some stuff, and it does go on a release through the record album or through the record deal, will you give us first play once it's out there that we can put a bit of noise out about you? There you go. How about that? There you go. There's a fair deal. Right, Daz,
Cal, can I just ask, is it local for me?
What?
Is the gig local for me?
I reckon he's coming to Liverpool, see me.
To be fair, I do know you have got a festival coming up with I think is it in Hull in August or September where you're actually playing with another load of HQ band, the Outclass.
We've actually got a which I was meant to see actually on before last break, but we've actually got a compilation album coming out recently with Rough Trade Records, and it's us. Our tune Getaway is on a compilation album with all other signed artists, and it's called Brits and Pieces 2.
Yes, we've seen that. We are promoting that.
Yeah. Oh, nice one. Then thank you very much. I just wanted to mention that as well. But
yeah, well, I'm about to say I actually got sent a preview copy that I shared with the lads, and it's a phenomenal album. We've plugged it already, and we'll continue to plug it because it's a hell of an album.
The artist
it's a hell of an album.
Really, really good. The first volume that they've done last year got up to 54 in the official charts and the album charts, so it'd be good to see it higher. But to answer your question about yours being local, I'll just say keep an eye out for tickets. And for you, says about Liverpool also as well, there might be something that might surprise you in the pipeline as well. So
I tell you what, that means Dublin's on the agenda.
Keep an eye out.
I tell you what, you're all out in the pubs. I hope you go back into lockdown. The only place you can play is fucking Dublin. There you go. Not that I'm Daz. Right, come on, Daz. Let's get some.
I think we're going to Martin. We're going to get you to mention the sponsors, and then I'm going to play another track because we run out of time.
Mind, Body and Soul. Obviously, we spoke about it very, very quickly there. Mind, Body and Soul. Adam and the guys in Mind, Body and Soul. they will point you in the right direction. It's particularly focused around mental health, in particular men's mental health. They've got a great website, www.mindbodysoul.uk. Go on there. They do some fabulous lines of merchandise. Everything that they sell off it is 100% non-profit. To them, it goes to people in need. It goes to charities. It goes to helping people. As an example, as I said last week, young girl in hospital having an operation, her dad staying in a hotel nearby. Mind, Body and Soul sent the money, paid for the dad's stay in the hospital. So they do some massive work. And as it says at the bottom there, it's okay to not be okay. If you're a fella, you're not feeling right, you want to talk to someone, get in touch with the boys. They'll put you right. It's, there is no stigma. Fellas not being okay is not a bad thing. It's okay to be sad and stuff. Right, what's next, Az?
Yeah, I just want to say that just on that, Martin, as well. Yeah, I ordered some stuff there with our code there at the weekend, a hoodie and a hat, so that's on the way. And great to hear the partnership with Away Day Radio and Mind, Body and Soul as well, with our own partners, the lads, Away Day Radio. And also then, Martin, I want to direct you towards...
Yep, Retro Souls UK. So obviously we are playing a lot of music and a lot of tunes, and people have kind of said, we're kind of in this genre of... the casuals and, a bit of indie and everything else. We probably are. We are playing loads of different bands, but I suppose, we're playing tunes that we like. We're bringing on bands that we really dig. And Retro Souls UK got in touch, and they are an independent retailer that look after new and pre-owned runners and trainers, 100% Adidas authentic, prices to suit all budgets. Get in touch. They're on Twitter at Retro Souls UK. Lee looks after all of that, and he will hook you up, as you can see, with a snazzy pair of Adidas. Does it all on his own, looks after everything. But give him a shout out, follow him on Twitter, and get yourself on there to get yourself a lovely pair of Adidas. And match them with some of those lovely clothes like you've seen Calv wearing in the videos with the nice yellow snazzy Stone Island jackets when you make it big.
That was nearly month's wages, that bastard.
I see. Now I'm away to Turkey next year on my holidays, Calv. So I'll sort you out for a couple of hookies, lad. I will, mate. I'll look after that for you. Right, lads, what's next?
I'm going to go straight to the music again, lads, because it's so good, and I want to get the tunes on for the lads, because we can take a load at 11, slightly after the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to go with "Sleeping Alone."
June.
Enjoy.
Off your whiskey, 'cause I'm falling apart. And though I haven't got your number, I haven't got your name.
Classic, lads.
Thank you very much.
Lovely. Lads, I think we'll go now. Are you okay to stay on for a while, lads?
Aye.
Yeah. Nice one. We go all night if we have to.
Can we just hang on, Daz, 2 seconds? Can we just clarify? We were meant to be finished at 10. It's now 9:55, so there's a chance we're not finishing at 10. Now, obviously, we're happy to run over, and I don't know how this is going to translate on radio on Saturday, but can I just say I'm having such a good night chatting with the boys and having the crack. I'm happy to keep cracking on until we need to finish up. So,
Martin, I've got an idea, right? Why don't we play the bonus last track that we normally play out with? We'll play that now, so it gets on the radio for the last 5 minutes on the Away Day radio. So that'll be the 5 songs all tied in, gets the airplay that they need. So I think that's probably the best way. If we put that last song on now, that gets on the radio, and then we'll talk loaded 11 and footy after.
Whatever you want to do, I'm easy. It's up to the boys as long as they're happy to hang around with us.
Gives me time.
And the good news is this is song number 5, and I've got 6. Class. Just got in the 2 hours as well, lads. Got those 5 songs in. Nice one.
So we'll just say goodbye to all our listeners on Away Day Radio. We'll see you this time next week. So
Well, we won't see them, but we will hear them.
It's all right.
Waving is not going to help here, lads, by the way.
I know, yeah, we are. If you're on radio, we're on.
We're going nowhere.
I have a quick question on that video. Who was the chick?
Just some birdie we knew. Well, we didn't know our videographer, who does all of our videos. We wanted to get a lesson in the video just to like portray the kind of like the vocals and the story behind the song. And he was like, "Yeah, I've got a lass here who might want to do it." And I was like, "All right, well, what does she look like?" And then we're seeing photos, and we're like, "Yeah."
What she look like? Can she act?
She's really good at doing what she does. She's really good at acting. And if any bands are like listening or listening, they should definitely try and hit her up for a music video or something like that because she's class at what she does.
I wasn't just sure. Was it one of his? Was it somebody's girlfriend or sister or something you borrowed just for the video shoot? So.
Well, no one who we know of, but I think she is a girlfriend of someone. So I don't think the video.
Let's say it.
You know, I don't know about you, lad, but you know we've had 5 songs on, and as Daz said, we could have played any of the ones that are on Spotify or you've got on YouTube. I really, really can't believe you guys aren't signed, and I think. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I wish I had a record label. Because I tell you what, I would happily sign you tomorrow and promote you all over the place.
How much does that kind of shit cost, though? Let's just.
I don't know.
Loaded record label.
Loaded records. Do you know what I mean? It has got a ring to it. You know, we are.
It does, but I don't know what. I don't know. You know, to be fair, I think these lads would be expensive, like because they are.
Well, in fairness, Cal's wearing fucking Stone Island. Do you know what I mean? So if he's coming on our record level, he needs to be heading back to Primark. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They were saved up money behind us.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the 4 of us chip together to get you a new one of them, will you sign your first album deal with us?
I'll accept a slab of Guinness to do me like.
Yeah. Josh is like, that's not fucking happening, lads. That's not happening.
Right, lads, I think it's time to move. We move to. Are you ready, Richie?
I am ready. Yes. Loaded 11.
And the result of last week's first striker position, you'd be surprised to hear, went to one Mr. Alan Shearer.
That was a load of bollocks, by the way.
No one.
A landslide. A surprise. Congratulations.
I did finish second in that, which was okay.
Can I just say before we move on to this week's selection for our last attacker that Chris, once again, you've neglected your chores tonight, and I'll fill you in. That Man City won 2-1 tonight and are through. And that Liverpool, Real Madrid finished 0-0, and Madrid are through 3-1 on aggregate.
We did have the comments up, so Chris is.
I know, we're going to pull Chris tonight.
I haven't think we else, haven't you? I get it.
Chris is happy. Chris is
that's because you know what pick's coming up, don't you? That's why.
He's worried.
I would also like to add that Chris is a bit like our roving reporter tonight. He may not well have been able to get the scores out, but he has moved location a few times.
Do you like that?
I didn't even notice.
You know what? The fact he's not up to speed in that, he's in a Chris Kamara, isn't he?
Exactly. The good thing is, we obviously know which team he supports now because he sat beside a Real Madrid pillow there, is he?
No, it may look like one now. It's just a.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah, no, that's grand. Just seeing the crown at the top.
I see the white lights.
It is. It's the whole family crest. It's the.
So back to business here, lads. So Shearer sits into our loaded 11 dream team.
Yeah, come on.
He looks good there.
It suits him.
You can't
tell you what, though. I say this every week, but fuck me, that is some team.
Yeah, that's unreal, isn't it?
Team, like.
What do you think, Calvin? Josh, think that's a canny team?
Not a bad one.
I would say. I don't think there's much you can argue.
He was all right, I suppose. Not bad.
Who's this?
I've got to admit, I was surprised Vieira got in. I was surprised.
I was surprised Vieira got in.
I like Vieira. Don't get me wrong; he was a top player. But
And
when you look at the others, you're just like, wow.
Yeah. But you know what makes that more funny is not only did Vieira get in, but it was a position and a player put in there by a Manchester United fan, which makes it even funnier.
Martin, what gets me is the fact that the player that had the role named after himself couldn't even get in the role.
Mate,
no, exactly. Hey, listen, we put it out to a vote. We put it out there. We give our spiel and we put it to a vote.
Lads, I picked Makaleli. Didn't get in.
So
Josh and Cal,
Josh and Cal, start thinking about who you'd have to partner Shearer up front as we go through our selections. So, Chris, we'll go to you first in your selection for this week.
Richy looks pig sick there. You can't wait for this, can you, Rich?
I'm not
two I would think of.
Chris, I've got 4 picks out of 10.
You have, mate. You have.
Neil can top it, but you know what?
I've got fucking one. Buffon.
I know what Daz has got lined up for me later on, right? So I'll get in there before he puts his little picture up and say, I did not pick that two. Daz,
you did.
He's only going to put it up because he's jealous because I was sensible and picked him in his right position.
But Richy, let's tell the truth here as well. Through doing part of this loaded 11, certain people, Chris and Daz,
I don't know about you throwing my name into this.
Chose players out of position.
No,
purely just to get their players into the team.
Right.
So,
before you say anything, boys, I'm asking Cal and Josh this: where does Lionel Messi play, or where might Lionel Messi play?
And the answer is not Barcelona.
I think he can play anywhere.
Is he a striker or is he a winger?
It's more of a floater for me. He floats in between the two. I'd say he's more of a calm kind of player, but he floats from the left to the right.
I would say I prefer to see him where he is now and then have Aguero in front of him.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cal.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Chris, we did let you off with the selection.
You did.
Because he had a couple of seasons there. The dig by Martin and myself has mainly been at Daz because he's basically Martin. He's proved he ain't tipped to be a football coach at all.
No.
Some of the selections he's made.
You know what, Daz?
Hang on. Wait a minute.
Richy, exactly. Daz is the Steve Bruce of Loaded HQ. He's like, you know what, lads? I need 11.
No, lads, that's a bit better. Now I can say what I want to say. So the lads were bringing the Loaded 11 into disrepute, and I will not stand for that. They've been ejected from the show for that. So we crack on, Chris. Do you want to give us your selection?
Oh, I may as well, mate. I may as well. Get a bit of peace and quiet.
There's no point sticking your fingers up at me, Martin.
Right, okay, so my striker, I got first pick this week, and the striker I had to pick was the real Ronaldo, the Brazilian one. Okay, so as you all know, lads, I've never felt so confident on this. When Richy picked Shearer last week, I knew I had to keep my powder dry with Del Piero. So that's why I picked Del Piero. So this week, I'm going all in with my main pick, and that is the Brazilian Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Okay, so gloves are off, boys. The gloves are off. Ronaldo's now this is an interesting stat, this, by the way. You'll like this. Ronaldo is now age 44 and is the majority owner of the La Liga club Real Valladolid, after buying a 51% controlling stake in the club for £30 million. So I didn't know that. Yeah. He was born in Rio de Janeiro when he stands 6 feet tall. He started his playing career at Cruzeiro, and he went on to play for PSV, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, AC Milan, and finished his playing career with Corinthians. He made 518 club appearances, and he scored an incredible 352 goals. He also made 98 international appearances for Brazil with a staggering 62 goals. In 2003, he was described by Nike as the world's most famous sports person at the time, and the third most famous person in the world overall. He even appeared in an episode of The Simpsons Simpsons. We also know he appeared in the film Goal. He's been in Snickers adverts, Pirelli tyre adverts, you name it, and of course the famous Nike adverts where he was the main man. Okay, so I'm going to go on to his club achievements. I'm just going to reel a few of these off. He's got so many achievements, but I'm just going to ping a few of them. So he's got the Copa do Brazil, the Johan Cruyff Shield, Copa del Rey, UEFA Cup winner, Supercopa de España winner, Copa America, UEFA Cup, La Liga, Intercontinental Cup, and of course, the World Cup. And he was also a runner-up at the World Cup as well. Personal achievements, he got 3 World Player of the Years, a Golden Shoe winner, Most Valuable Player Award, various Footballer of the Year awards. He's a 2 times Ballon d'Or winner. He's in the Ballon d'Or Dream Team, and he's in the Hall of Fame at various clubs. Listen, to summarise, boys, you may as well just not even bother talking tonight, because there's no way that Brazilian Ronaldo is not getting in that team. No way.
Cheers, Chris. Good call. Good call in Ronaldo. I'll see you, Ronaldo, and I'll raise you, Marco van Basten. Anyone remember Marco van Basten?
No.
No? Let me tell you a bit about him. Right. Got my notes. He retired in 1993 at the age 28 due to injury. He's known for his close ball control, attacking intelligence, impeccable headers, and spectacular strikes and volleys. It was the FIFA World Player of the Year in 1992. He won the Ballon d'Or 3 times. He played for Ajax, AC Milan, and the Netherlands. He won 3 titles with Ajax, league titles, and the Cup Winners' Cup. Scored 128 goals in 133 games. Milan, he won 4 league titles and 3 European Cups. Scored 90 goals in 147 games. For the Netherlands, he won Euro 1988, got the Golden Boot, scored 24 goals in 58 games for the Dutch. He was the top league scorer in 4 seasons for Ajax. No, it's not actually his birthday. It's just a picture. I know it is his birthday today, so that's one reason why you should get your vote. Yeah, I think people remember he's some of his spectacular goals with the overhead kick against Ajax, the volley from the wing, really outside the box against Soviet Union, the bicycle kick for AC Milan as well, and he also played alongside Hullet and right guard for AC Milan and Holland. He had won many individual awards, and he had a few managerial roles. Didn't do great at that. And I also have a little figurine of him from when I was young. This little figurine of Van Basten, and it says his name on the back.
You really need to get a life.
Yeah, I do need to get a life. Yeah. So both Van Basten.
No, about
who's up next? Martin.
It is me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is me. So obviously we've gone Ronaldo. We've had a few lads who've chosen players out of position and tried to claim justifications, but that's fine. And we looked at the second striker, but I didn't go with the old lads. I went with the future. Kevin Phillips. No, that's not him.
There's your winner there.
I'll tell you what, Golden Boot. Look at that, 99-0. Anyway, that's enough about him. Come on, Dan, let's get the real picture up.
You were messing.
So I went with the future. That's it. Jeez, look at those 2 lads. Look at Quinn. I shared a flight with Al Quinn, and I spent a day drinking in a tent with him. Yeah, Monkey's Heat, and that is the old Roker Park, is it not? I do. It
is, yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Glad they hauled that down and built houses on it. Thank God.
Third time lucky.
Third time lucky. Right, so we'll go.
Josh lives there now, where Roker Park used to be.
I live in now where Roker Park used to be.
My mate and his missus live in that same area. I think it's called his house street Roker Avenue or something. I think it is.
Yeah, Roker.
He lives in the houses there. Yeah. So yeah, I did. I looked at all these and I looked at all the players that these boys have thrown in, and I said, you know what? We can keep talking about heroes. We can keep talking about all these players who have done it. But I went with a player who is going to do it. And I went with...
Got a feeling you're going to say...
Erland Haaland. So, he may not have won the trophies, but this kid is an absolute monster. Erling Haaland, age 20. Obviously, his dad, very well-known ex-Leeds player, Alfie Inge Haaland, some would say Roy Keane brought a premature end to his career with a bit of a dodgy tackle, but we won't talk about that. But Erling Haaland, 6'4", pace, power, movement, athleticism, strength. This kid has got it all. Oh, Cal's gone. Oh, Cal's gone. Richie's
Cal's
gone.
coming back.
Oh, hello.
Cal's coming back.
Sorry about that.
This lad has it all. He's just got everything. He is a goal-scoring phenomenon.
Who did you go for?
I went for Erling Haaland.
Yeah, I thought that's all you're going to say.
Yeah,
I thought it was actually that Mbappe.
Yeah,
we did talk about Mbappe,
future
but I
strikers,
just think if you're looking at the future, as I said, these lads are looking at all these players who've done it. I went the other way, Calv. I went with the future.
Yeah.
So obviously, Borussia Dortmund and Norway, Red Bull. What are you laughing at, Chris?
This is a desperate shout. This man.
It is.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm not doubting.
It is an absolute desperate attempt. But do you know what? All joking aside, and I know he may not get in it, but I think this kid is worth an absolute shout out because he is a phenomenon.
I agree.
Obviously,
have you seen his previous music videos he did? That's unfair.
No, I'll have a look at those tonight, though. But thanks for that.
Type in Erling Haaland's music video on YouTube, and you'll have a little bit of a laugh. Like,
that's next, if that's an extra winner, then I'm taking those points. But obviously, BVB, he hasn't played for that many clubs. But the interesting thing, obviously, he played for Red Bull Leipzig, 16 appearances, 17 goals. This season, obviously, the end of last season, he moved. He went to BVB, he went to Borussia Dortmund. 38 appearances, 34 goals for BVB. 6'4", pace and power. Norway, only for 6 months with Norway, 10 appearances, 6 goals. This kid is going to be the future of football. And you've got your Messis, you've got everything else. But at 20 years old, I just think this lad is destined to be the future of football. And I think you look at all these other strikers and listen, absolutely, Shearer, Ronaldo, some of these other players, that the ones that Daz is trying to push through in his weak attempt. All these things are great. But why do we keep looking at the past, lads? That's my point. We need to look at the future.
What about Loaded 11 future? Oh, no, Mars, I just wanted to say, just a quick thing on Haaland, which you're absolutely spot on what you're saying, and the stats back it up. I read somewhere, it was a while ago, that not only, as you said, he's 6'4", big powerhouse, scores goals, but I'm sure I read somewhere that somebody clocked the distance that it took, or the time that it took him to run like 60, 70 yards. And he was quicker than the world record over that distance. 60
yards in 6.2 seconds or something like that. He's just an absolute beast. Interestingly, I know Calv made the point about his music videos on YouTube. If you also Google Erling Haaland on YouTube nightclub, you will actually see a piece of him last year getting fucked out of a nightclub from Norway for being a dick. But that does also, in my book, put him up there with the legends. So I think on that note alone. But look, listen, he's probably not going to get in the team, but he's a good shout for the future. And I think this is a guy that is just going to become an absolute legend. I can see him coming to the Premier League and blitzing. As many records are out there. Future Ballon d'Or winner. And look, obviously his dad was a good guy as well with Leeds. But yeah, that's my shout. Erling Haaland. I think he's a quality player, and I think he needs probably not going to get a spot, but look, he's one for the future.
Cool. Cheers, Martin. Richie?
Well, I know how this one's going to go because I know what Daz is like, and he's been threatening it all week in our WhatsApp chat. Now, I was on the same sort of line as Martin, and I did when we had our planning meeting on Sunday night. I did say, do you know what? Because I had last pick, I'm going to throw a curveball, and I'm going to go for something for the future. And I threw the name in Mbappe, and I thought, he's going to be he's done loads already, and he's got a huge future with him. But obviously, I had to wait until the rest of the lads had made their pick. So once they made their pick, and this person was still available, I had to go for him. But unfortunately, Daz put up the, well, I already picked him. You can't put him in the team again. He's already been nominated.
I don't sound
but
like
the
that,
thing is,
Richie.
though, Dad, the problem
you
is
do.
that you
That's his
nominated
best
him for
Irish
the
accent.
wrong position. You nominated him for the position he didn't play in. So I'm actually going to put it. And before I say the name, because I know he's going to put up a stupid picture of Darren Bent because he's been threatening it all week. So you might as well get this Darren Bent
Well,
picture out the way.
I'm not going to now. I'm not going to.
So you're not
Yeah,
putting
Put
it
it
up,
up,
are you
Dad.
now?
Put it up.
Go on, Dad. We know you want to. You know, I know what's being covered. So put the picture of that Darren Bent on. No, I went for Pele. I actually put him in a proper position.
I was surprised that no one had mentioned him, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Cal, Daz did mention him 2 weeks ago in the cam role, but he was, I had third pick that week and I went for Maradona, and I still don't understand why he put Pele in as a cam, because he's not a cam, he's a striker, and he's probably the best striker of all time. Now, going through some of the stats for Pele, he had 18 years at Santos. He had 496 first-team appearances, and he scored 504 goals. So he scored more. He had a ratio of more than 1 a game, which is absolutely phenomenal. He then went on to New York Cosmos for 2 years at the end of his career and scored 37 goals and 64. He had 92 national caps for Brazil, scoring 77. No, not Darren Bent. Get the proper one on.
Look at Brucey. Brucey's saying there that's how many kebabs he's having tonight.
Sorry, Richie, the slip of the button there.
Yes. So anyway, domestically, he won the Brazilian Serie A 6 times in the Copa Libertadores as well with Santos. Internationals is where it really stands out, though. He won 3 World Cups in 58, 62, and 70. And the only reason why he didn't get the 66 one, so obviously we won it, but he didn't really play a part in Brazil because he was injured at the World Cup. So he potentially could have won 4 on the trot if it wasn't for that. Some personal milestones for himself. He's the most successful top-flight goal scorer of all time, with 541 goals and 560 appearances for ratio. And if you want to include the friendlies that they used to do in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that, it's actually a Guinness World Record. No, he didn't score 3 goals, Daz. He actually scored a phenomenal 1,279 goals in 1,363 appearances, which is actually a Guinness World Record. He was voted World Player of the Century by the International Federation for Football of History and Stats, but was joint winner of the FIFA World Player of the Century, along with my camp player, Diego Maradona. He was also announced as Athlete of the Century by the International Olympic Committee, and was also awarded a place on the Ballon d'Or Dream Team of all time. So, all of the stats that I've got there, and I hate to say how this is going to work out, but I do believe that this week is between Pele and R9. Will you go with the original legend or the recent Brazilian legend? That is up to everybody who watches the show, all the viewers, but it's going to be a hard one for someone to be left out of this 11.
Cheers, Rich.
Worthy answers.
What happens now with Calvin, Josh, that goes on to a poll on our Twitter, and the result will be revealed on next week's show. So, who would out of those 4 choices, who would your pick be, or do you have a selection of your own?
Go on, Josh. You go first.
When the question first got asked, I was thinking Aguero, but I think that's me being very young. But then, when someone mentioned R9, I have to go R9. He's probably out of that pick. I'd probably have to say R9.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
With Bobby. Classic.
Plus, I had a
And Jose. There's Jose Mourinho as well.
Jose, yeah, exactly.
What about you, Cal?
Funny enough, that's why when someone mentioned about Messi, where he would play, when I was looking at Messi, where he was on the formation, my instinct thought Aguero because of what I've seen him achieve through my experience through football and growing up in being with Man City. So I would agree with Josh that with Aguero. But once it got mentioned in the options, I do agree there should be some football players there that do need in a way where they're going to be bright side of the future. That's why I thought like Mbappe and Haaland, but I'm going to go with R9 as well. I was, I'll be honest with you, right? I was when I like in 2002, I think it was 2003. My dad took us to Portaventura in Spain, and we bought the proper Galactico Real Madrid tops with the colours on. We bought them, and I had Ronaldo on the back, and he's been me bit of me love when I was younger growing up. Like, you know, if you're on FIFA, the first thing I do is always signing for Sunderland, batting like FIFA 03 no phone. You can do that. Get him on there and right or left wing, and then just either way you can come in. And, you know, he's a brilliant player, but I'll go R9 as well. To be honest.
Do you know what? I don't blame you for that selection, because I think probably all of us will agree, he's probably been the best overall striker that we've probably seen while we've been alive.
That's it, right? Exactly.
And I think the reason why Pelé might lose this is because, unfortunately, they didn't have the technology around at his time. There's some of the stories that you actually hear about some of the goals he scored and stuff like that, and only people who were actually in the ground at the time were able to see what he did. Yeah. And I think that doesn't do him justice. So I would love to have seen him in the modern day with all the technology, because I think he probably would have got a lot more picks. But seriously, Pelé or R9, any of those two get in the team, and I'd be happy, to be fair. Because I thought Ronaldo, R9 lived up to his name, the Phenom. He was just brilliant.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a good thing I didn't go with my second choice, which was Jimmy Greaves, then, because fucking TV wasn't even invented then when I was in
Right, cheers anyway, lads, and thanks for all the selections. I think, lads, we'll just tell you what's coming up in the next week. We've got on Friday at 8 o'clock, we've got Loaded Mag. It's going to be our third episode of Loaded Mag, so whatever happens in the next few days, and we'll be talking about that. And
there's a bit to talk about takeover wise. There's a few bits came out on the old chat today, so fair play to AD Musgrave, who has managed to pull a few bits and pieces and some documents worth talking about, I think, on Friday.
Yeah, and of course we have the build up to the West Ham game as well on the Saturday, and then after that game on the Saturday evening, the match is still on Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. That at 8 o'clock we're going to do a review show as well, so that's coming up on Saturday evening. I think we should talk about what's happening next week, lads. Yeah. Happy with that? Let's go for Richie. You want to talk us through this?
Yeah, we'll do. So next week, we've got our normal loaded headlines, loaded leaderboard, loaded tune next week with special guest Felix Hill. We'll also have the loaded quiz with Felix Hill, and I don't know why that is selected. We've got
fix the slide, Daz.
We should just keep it. Just keep it. One day we'll
it's always going to be a mystery. It's a mystery whether
the mystery is there's never a guest.
I know. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter at LoadedHQ1, Instagram at Loaded Headquarters. Subscribe to our Loaded HQ on YouTube. It's free, and we'd appreciate the subscribe if you've enjoyed some of the shows we've been putting on there for you over the lockdown period. And also, we will be continuing going on. I know there's a few channels being rumoured to be ending now that the lockdown season, but we will be continuing for the future. You could also subscribe, as we said, to www.youtube.com/C/LoadedHQ.
Nice one, Richie.
Can I just say, sorry, Daz, just to interrupt you, right? Richie's point there on subscribing to the channel, right? This week we broke over 500 followers on Twitter, right? And we've got 170-something following the channel. Come on, folks. Be fair. If you're following us on Twitter, and I'm sure the lads from the Voyd will start spreading the word a bit after being with us tonight, get onto the channel, subscribe. It helps us deliver better content. We can get a bit more out to you. It helps us to help you. So if you are following us, will you please just get onto the channel, hit the sub and the like button, and help us deliver much more to you guys. We do appreciate it. We spend our time, we've done 2.5 hours tonight. We've sat here chatting shit with Mackems all night long. It's not really in our nature, but we try and put on a really good show. I'm delighted to have had Josh and Calv on tonight. I think it's been a really good show, and we will try and bring you stuff like this with unsigned bands and signed bands. But it helps if you subscribe and you help us push the channel. So give us a thumbs up and give us a sub. And by the way, just as we're shouting out, follow the Voyd on Twitter. And, you know, make sure you look after these lads because, you know, as I've said, as much as they're, you know, a bunch of Mackhams, they're not bad. And their music is absolute quality. So give them a follow and look after them. And if they do play in the local area, get onto them, buy some tickets and go out and see them and support them because they're well worth it.
Yeah, if you do want to follow the lads, they are at the Voyd Official on Twitter, but they've also on YouTube as well, where you can see all the videos and all the other songs that we haven't had time to play tonight on their YouTube channel as well. So go out and subscribe to that as well.
Exactly. And if you love to feed them, they love fish and chips, as they've said earlier on. So, you know, hook them up and get them some food. And it gives them, yeah, exactly. But it gives them a bit more money to work in the studio. So, exactly.
You know, Chris did say he was trying to link all the questions together tonight. And it's funny how they love Queens, but they didn't get the Queen's Gambit straight away.
There you go. There you go.
Little mix.
We're getting right to the end of our slot. So I've one last question for Josh and Calv. Lads, what's happening? Are you fucking going up this season or not? What is happening?
I wish it would have been on 2 weeks ago and I would have said yes, but now.
Last night's result was shit, by the way.
To be fair, the past 4 games, we haven't played very well.
Yeah, the last 3-4 now, lads, you have not really done.
Yeah,
Please just tell me you're not going to fucking bottle it again.
Playoff final.
I hope not.
I think.
What have you got left? You got what's the champion? What's
I've got
46 games.
46. So you got 6 left. Are you gonna? You got Blackpool 12 on Saturday.
I've got them twice.
Blackpool away. So come on, lad. Surely you're going up this season, are you not?
I hope
fingers crossed, but it's just.
If it is, I think it's going to be through the playoffs. I think top 2's out of reach now.
Lads, if you want
to try and avoid that. Though.
Yeah, you don't want to get to the playoffs. You don't really have a good record in that, do you?
Yeah.
Just Wembley at the minute.
We actually mentioned, we were talking about League One before you came on, so I don't know if you were listening at the time, but we said that since that you won the pizza trophy a few weeks ago,
gone downhill.
Your form's gone downhill. Now, what would you do? Would you swap that win at Wembley for another Wembley win in a few weeks' time?
Oh, 100%.
To go up in the Championship and not have the John's Trophy, I would have it.
The John's Trophy will be all forgotten in a couple of years. You know what I mean? It's not the FA Cup.
Well, it's not even going to be called that trophy in about a year's time anyway. So
the screw fix last year. So it's
something.
It was a nice little win, but I'd take promotion.
It'll probably end up being the away day radio trophy in about 2 years.
You know what though? I much prefer the season before with the screw fix because I mean, in fairness, they did fix all their seats.
Right,
finish on a dad joke, eh?
Martin, you do realise Calvin actually said this was his favourite interview he'd done until you'd mentioned that.
Listen, lads, if we're gonna have red and white and black and white, and there's not a bit of shit pulling a bit of banter, then it's not a derby, lads. But listen, as we've said, I've been, you know, and I know Daz is going to finish up, and we're heading to time here. I've been absolutely delighted to have you lads on. I know I give a bit of chip, but that's a derby, and we have a bit of fun. I wish you guys all the success in the world, and I hope that Sunderland do come up and we get you back into the Prem, or if we go down, we get a few derbies because it's sorely missed. And the support of the Northeast teams deserve their teams to be the best because we got between us, between you guys, and between Borough, we've got the best fans in the world, and we deserve the best. So I hope to see you come up, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the season. If it doesn't happen, I'll have a giggle. But you know what? Look, that's the point about having rivalry. But listen, your music is class, and I wish you all the best. We'll keep promoting you. Very much. So delighted to have you boys on. Daz, go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that, like, great to have the lads on. They are going to hit the big time. Someone is going to definitely pick them up. It has to happen. Too many good songs there to let this group slip through the fingers. So look forward to watching you progress, lads. We'll keep an eye out for you.
Don't forget us. Don't forget us.
Soccer AM next for you. Yeah.
I hope so. Fingers crossed, definitely. That'll be a good one.
They're not as good as us, though.
Nah.
They've got you. We've got Chris Wall.
Right, lads. I think we're going to end on holding on. And thanks for everyone for watching. And thanks to Voyd, Calv, and Josh for coming and joining us Take care, lads. Best of luck.
Good night,
Thanks a lot,
boys.
guys. Thanks for coming on. We love you.
Thank you.